Hello everybody and welcome to Bish Bash Bosh number 2. We've had some crazy racing this morning at Albert Park, the opening of Formula 1 2025, and we are in for more. Bish Bash Bosh never fails to deliver. We're going to have chaos. We're certainly going to have storylines because we have the past 2 times. We're going to have crashes. We're going to have heartbreak. But most of all, we are going to have just some excellent racing for you all. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Bish Bash Bosh desk. My arm's been cut. Welcome back to the Bish Bash Bosh desk. Are we excited? Oh. I am sleep deprived as hell. I woke up at 2 a.m. this morning. Obviously, live cast the Australian Grand Prix, filmed the podcast, went back to bed, woke up a couple hours ago. My body has no idea what time it is. It is great. It is great. I've fixed the stream title for some reason. It would not allow me to do it through OBS, so we've got that there. Mr. V, please appear. Hello. For those of you who are new to Bish Bash Bosh, just a little bit of an explainer of what we're doing today. This is a no-holds-barred Wreckfest tournament. If you've not played the game, it's banger racing, which means it's full contact. You can spin people out. You can destroy their cars. All that matters is getting to the line first. That being said, we have a couple of rules. No teaming up. This is every driver for themselves. If we see people being unfair in who they're targeting the crashing, we will come down hard with the ban hammer. No wrong way driving. The game will just automatically stop you from doing that anyway. Any vehicle in the class, any modifications, we do not have any vehicle limits apart from if we specify a specific vehicle in the randomizer, which we'll see in just a second. And drivers can use all assists and all gearbox settings. So this is a tournament. We're starting off with 2 heats. We had 40 signups. We've had a couple dropouts this morning. So it looks like we've got about 16, 17 drivers in each heat, which is still going to be pretty crazy. Still going to be good. Of each of those heats, the top 10 drivers based on points after 3 races are going to advance to the quarterfinals. 20 drivers on the grid. That is going to be chaos. In the heats, we have 3 different race car combos. And then for each of the playoff rounds, the quarters, the semis, and the finals, we have 1 track. We have a timer on the screen, 12 minutes for the quarters, 12 minutes for the semis, 15 minutes for the finals. When the lights go out, the timer starts ticking down. When the winner crosses the line, that timer pauses. If we still have time on the clock, we go again. It's a little bit of an interesting way to run a competition, but it puts some interesting strategy in there. It means you don't quite know how many runnings of the race we're going to have. You've got to be careful, got to get ahead on points. We have reverse grid though, so maybe you want to not score too many points first time, because you're going to be right at the back. It's going to be interesting. We have up to the time for the finals to 15 minutes, just to give a little bit more time for our very top drivers to duke it out for the absolute win. And what are they fighting for? They are, of course, fighting for the merch, the Mr. V's Garage merch. We have the new medium speed corners t-shirt. Drivers can actually select any item they want from the store. It's 1 item only. Last time I promised a Greg's gift card, so any driver in the UK, I will give you the option of 1 store item or a Greg's gift card. I'm not doing both because I'm going to go bankrupt if I keep offering that. A couple changes for those of you who watched last time. We now have damage changes. We were running everything on normal last time, which is the least amount of damage in the game. So cars survive most crashes, and it takes multiple crashes to actually get knocked out of the race. We now have damage in the randomizer, as you will see. What that means is every race will either be normal or realistic damage, which is basically higher damage, and the cars will get knocked out faster. And there's a very, very small chance we will get extreme. Extreme is pretty crazy. The cars no longer have a health bar, and you keep driving until you lose either both front wheels or both rear wheels. Your car can be completely destroyed. The driver's seat can be ripped out. You can have no engine left, but if you still got the wheels, you are still in the race. Very small chance of that, but it can happen. We had a lot of motorhome races last time, so now each special vehicle is limited to once each. If we pull the school bus, we will only have the school bus once. But we can have school bus for one race, motorhome for another, that kind of thing. It's still all good. The finals will not have any of the special vehicles. That is always going to be a race in cars to actually have a test of driver skill, and it will always be on normal damage because we don't really want the driver decided by like a turn 1 pile-up, the winner, I should say. Who are the drivers? We have a lot of returning faces, some names you'll recognize if you watched last time. Including our driver spotlight for today, it's Charter, our two-time winner of both BISH, BASH, BOSH 0 and 1, the two events so far. And both times had a bit of a come-from-behind victory. BISH, BASH, BOSH is a competition all about consistency. And so if you want to win, you got to be solid the whole way through, which Charter has been. A little bit of a come from behind, maybe under the radar before, but as our double winner now, going for a hat trick, I think there's going to be a lot of eyes on Charter. Will they make it through turn one? Well, according to our fun fact here, Charter learned his driving skills from playing Midnight Club 2 and 3. You got to be feisty to make it in those games. More of a Midnight Club LA man myself, but still excellent video games. And so, we are almost ready. We have drivers in the server, ready for Heat 1. Heats have been assigned, drivers are getting themselves prepared, but we need to know what tracks we are racing on. So we head, of course, to the randomizer. It looks a little bit different, and I've made this a little bit more dramatic this time, as you will see. If you guys are ready, we can hit the BOSH button and start to learn all of our races. Let's go. Heats are starting out with 3 laps of Furwood Motor Center Rally, Class B, normal damage. We then go on to Wrecknado in the school bus! Realistic damage. We are going to have some DNFs in there. We then have to the Big Valley Speedway, inner oval in the Star Beast, normal damage, bit more regular there. And then into the quarters, Espadorlan in Class C, normal damage. Followed by Torstollen Reverse in the Killer Bee, realistic damage for the semi-finals, and then to decide our winner. 8 laps on Torstollen Short. In the Rammer, normal damage. It's an interesting mix. We have some absolute chaos in the Wrecknado school bus. That could throw some people off. Just getting a picture of this so I can actually set the things up later. That could certainly throw some people off. Those of you who are not familiar with Wreckfest, with the Wrecknado, you'll see. You'll see. And I think with the school bus, we're going to have quite a lot of DNFs. So we are going to start to load up our very first race. We're going to have to go over to the server, check that we've got all our drivers in there, and then we're going to be underway in just a minute. First things first, I just need to tick off our people. We're expecting 16 people here. We currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We don't quite have all of the sign-ups, so we'll give them another couple minutes in case they are running a bit late. We'll give them a ping in Discord just while we get this set up. Give me some predictions, guys. What are you looking forward to? What are you expecting to see? Any drivers you're rooting for? We had some fan favorites last time. Ethan wants the BOSH. Don't we all, Ethan? But it's getting expensive these days. It is funny, broadcast this on Twitch. You can have the word BOSH in the title, but you can't have the word BISH, which is why it's censored from Twitch, which is bizarre to me personally, but that's how it is. I love the part where Mr. V said, it's boshing time, and then boshed all over everyone. I see you were here for the previous events. Outfox P1. It's a solid prediction, but it hasn't happened so far. Outfox is certainly one of the favourites, and Outfox is here in Heat 1. But they've been beaten to the overall title twice before, so you never know. You never know. Got some fans for Unit Jab. Chug. Oh, you're talking about the green screen juice. I should not be chugging this. This is meant to last me a while. I'm not going to be chugging it. Hope to see Fox and Sox dueling in a bus. Sadly, Sox has had to pull out last minute early this morning due to unforeseen circumstances, so we will not see Sox here today. Again, one of the favourites from previous runnings. But Outfox is here. I will say last time, we interviewed Outfox as our sort of joint driver of the day. Put a direct call out to one of the other drivers, Alex Norris. Now, they have got different heats. Alex is in Heat 2, Outfox is in Heat 1. They are both strong drivers though, so I would be expecting both of them to progress and therefore maybe meeting up in the quarterfinals. It's going to be very interesting to see how that rivalry materializes. Just going to give a quick ping. Got some people saying Wi-Fi gone. Just giving the drivers a little bit of a countdown. Very nice. My bold predictions that Charter will not win, but good luck all, not trying to be biased. No bias, just... I think you specifically will lose. Let's get the timer off screen. I mean, you can't count Charter out. It is anyone's game, and we went into the final last time with 4 or even 5 drivers eligible to win overall. Charter was actually P4 before the last race of the finals, but a last lap spin from Oswald and getting tangles up without Fox allowed Charter through into the lead of that race and then scrape through the points they needed. You get a lot of points difference between like P1 and P2 in these races. For those who are unfamiliar, P1 in any given race is 35 points. It then goes down to 30, 25, 20, and then it goes down 18, 16, and it starts going down by 1. So like big incentive to actually push for those top few places because it's 5 points per position right at the front. Should be good. My Wi-Fi likes to act up. Either my ping is like between 8 and 30, or it's like I'm on the moon. You need to stop downloading those videos, Chris. All I'm going to say on that one. All I'm going to say on that one. Okay, we're going to start to load the map into the server. It looks like we've got everyone we're going to get. So, we are starting out with Thurwood Motor Center Rally in Class B. It's a bit of a unique track. It's not the full rally course. There's a thing in Wreckfest called like the rally circuit. It's not that. But it is quite a long track, regardless. Thurwood Motor Center, a rally circuit. 3 laps. Class B. Normal damage. Lovely stuff. So we are going to head over. We're going to head over into the lobby. If we could see it. So we can start to see what kind of cars drivers are picking up here. Oh, there we go. So we've got people who are here in Heat 1. We've got some familiar faces. We've got Charter, our winner from the last 2 Bish Bash Boshes. We've got Outfox down here at the bottom. We've got Oswald, who was leading going into the final last time. Some other faces you might recognize: Ko, Hikia, Cube, or as I like to pronounce it, Cube. We've got the Cobra. We've got some new faces as well. Chris Gaming NL, who has said they've downloaded Wreckfest again. Hasn't played in 2 years, but they've joined us here today. We've got the Atlantic Puffin is a new face, I believe. Tiny, I think, as well. It's their first time here in Bish Bash Bosh. They're going to get an introduction, let's say. Will it be a rude introduction or will it be friendly? That remains to be seen on the track. Going to give these drivers just a couple more seconds. It seems they've all pretty much picked a car here. They might be doing some final tweaks to their tune, that kind of thing. We're going to give them another 30 seconds, and then we're going to get rolling for the very first race of Heat 1. Also, just to clarify for all of you watching at home, the fan favorite driver, Ranch, is in Heat 2. Never fear, Ranch is back. We've got one driver asking how you joined the server. We do have a driver briefing with all the information, but the Wreckfest server system is bad. To be fair, it's real bad. So that's kind of not surprising. They are in Heat 1, so I'm going to give them just a minute. I'm going to give them just a minute on that one. Let's head back to the desk. Yes, Ranch. We got Ranch fans in the chat. We got Ranch fans. Never fear. Never fear. Zach, we're giving you a minute. Don't worry about it. You got a minute to get in. The server system is real janky in Wreckfest, I will say. I would love to give you a link, but that is not how it works. You have to just search it. Thankfully, Bish Bash Bosh is near the start of the alphabet, so it's not the hardest thing ever. One thing to clarify, if anyone's watching and you're trying to get into the server, you have to be playing on Steam, Epic Games, or GOG. It won't work if you have the game on Game Pass. So Zach, if that is you, I'm sorry, my friend, but we're going to give you just a minute to get in here. All for the Stroll villain arc. Who is Stroll in this situation? Who is Stroll? Also, where's my co-host? They were murdered. They were killed. I'm not allowed friends anymore. No. So I did actually ask Not Applicable back for 2 weeks ago, Bish Bash Bosh 1, but he was busy. He was going to like a friend's birthday event or something. Friends? I don't understand it either. But then, so obviously it was just me last time, and then I just forgot to ask anyone this time. But you know, it's all good. It's all good. You can listen to me. You will get to listen to just me. How lucky for you. How lucky. What are the Wreckfest servers like? You have to just search every live server alphabetically. There's no, the search bar basically doesn't work. So you have to just line them all up alphabetically and like find the right one. And then because of that, most servers start with like 1 or an asterisk. So people like gaming the alphabetical system. So yeah, it's just a bit of a pain in the ass to find stuff. Oh, we got more people in. We've got WLGT TV channel 10 New York. That's a hell of a name. That is a hell of a name. Mr. V, can you say it's race week? I want to make it into an alarm. Do you want it like calm or do you want it quiet? Because I can sort you out. I can sort you out either way. Okay, I think we've got our last drivers in here, so we're going to start as soon as I've picked a car. Are you ready? Are you ready? Wait, what was the quote? It is race week! There you go. That's a good alarm. Okay, everyone's picked a car. So we're going to give our drivers a countdown. We are getting in here to the very first race of Heat 1. It's time to bish. It's time to bash. And potentially, it might be time to bosh. We are following Cube here. Coming off the line here at Furwood. There we are following them, we are following them. So it is still a normal circuit, it's a little bit of a longer one, but it is still forward like we've seen last time in Bish Bash 1 actually. Start with a hairpin. Cube's still up in P3, but testing out the concrete. They have learned the concrete is solid. The concrete is tough. It's an interesting racing line, but you know, it's good to try stuff. Let's head in here to the free camera so we can start to get an idea for the circuit. So we currently have Jack 08 leading in, which for legal reasons is not a Mini, but a car that looks something like a Mini. Outfox, one of our favorites, in P2 with Oswald. Championship rival last time, actually spins Outfox out. Bit of contact here, down at this hard right-hander. Chris Gaming NL, one of our new drivers, up into P2 as we cross the line. So it's called the rally circuit, but it is more of like a rally cross circuit, just a normal thing. Let's follow Jack here with the helicopter cam, get an idea of the lines. So we've got this long straight into pretty hard left. That Mini is looking nimble. It's the kind of car where if you can get through clean at the start of the race, it sets you up for a real nice run because it is quick. The only problem is it is not tough. So if you get involved in any crashes, particularly once we do get to realistic damage, you're going to have a bad time. Another long straight here. So car setup is crucial. Wreckfest does allow drivers to change the setup of their car. So like gear ratios, suspension stiffness, their differential slip, that kind of thing. Nailing that setup is crucial because if you've got the wrong gear ratios going on, you are going to be absolutely nowhere on a track like this along straights. Konau is up into P2. Hikia's made P3. Outfox seems to have shaken off Oswald, is up into P4. followed by the Puffin, another one of our new drivers. We then got the Cobra make an ascend into the hairpin, goes wide on Cubey. After testing the concrete, seem to have made their way back up into P6, along with Charter, our two-time winner. It's getting feisty down here, still in strong points positions. And actually, at the front, Jack has lapped Tiny. Jack has lapped Tiny. What is Tiny driving? That is the Super Van. The Super Van is a three-wheeler. It's a hell of a pick. It can be quite a quick car in a straight line. It doesn't turn good. It doesn't turn good due to the fact it only has one front wheel. So it's a hell of a pick. And Jack crosses the line. Our very first race winner here in Bish Bash Bosh number 2. Hickey crosses P3. Outfox P4. That's solid points. That is an excellent way to get yourself on a playoff berth. The Puffin, followed by Charter. Cubey, the Cobra, close behind in P8. We then have Oswald, who almost won last time out in the van. P9, Chris in P10. Luinator, who's been talking a lot of shit over in the Discord, has manifested that into a P11. WLGT TV Channel 10 New York in P12. And then Tiny in the Super Van is, I get the feeling, potentially not going to finish here. Let's get on board. Oh, it's lovely to see the visor there. That's a real good view of what we got going on. Yeah, Tiny here. Got some nice racing lines, but the Super Van is a pick. The Super Van certainly is a pick, and that has turned into 9 points for Tiny. A bit of a way behind Jack on 35, but 2 more of those races. And realistic damage next up at the Recnado. This could all change. Up next, guys, we do have a track we've kind of been waiting for since the start of Bish Bash Bosh, the Recnado. Let's get that locked in. And the drivers are all locked into school buses, so we don't need to wait for them to choose anything, because there's only one thing they can have. Where's the Recnado? There it is. The alphabetical order is a bit janky. Can you do it in reverse? Oh, no, not the Demolition Arena. We are doing 5 laps here at the Recnado, and then damage is going up to realistic. Anyone who's familiar with Wreckfest will know the difference here. Some of the junior drivers might be caught out, though, because a heavy hit can take you out the race in one. You have to be super careful here, particularly on a track like Recnado. If you get T-boned, if you get an awkward crash, you can be out instantaneously. So you got to be careful. Let's lock that in. Let's lock that in, and then all the drivers are going to be on the loaner school bus, which means they're all absolutely identical. Which means as well we're going to be seeing the custom Bish Bash Bosh school bus livery. Just clarify for the Puffin there. And it turns out I can't spell, so that's fun. The N and the H it's really similar on my keyboard, and they're right next to each other, so, I mean, anyone could have made that mistake. It's all good. It's all good. It looks like we have a full grid in the school bus. Lovely stuff. Just checking as well here. How many drivers we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is our cutoff point, which means we are going to be losing the bottom 3 out of Heat 1 here with 13 drivers. Everyone is picking their car. I believe they can tune it, so we'll give them a second just to do that. You can't tune it, but they can choose a paint job. So we're going to give them just 3 seconds. 2, 1, and we're good. Into the Recnado. Those of you who haven't seen this before, oh, you're in for a treat. You're in for a treat. There's Outfox holding us up. They just can't pick a paint scheme, even though every single car they have is orange. Prediction on Rex. I'm going to say out of 13 drivers, I could see us losing 7, I want to say. Let's go into the free camera. So the Recnado is basically, it's kind of like a figure 8. It's like this big butterfly pattern. You start out from this main ramp, Drivers can go left or right up one of these two loops. But you will see both of these then have to jump across the middle, cross over to get to the loops on the other side. So this crossover in buses is about to be dangerous. Oh, we got some people clean through, but we've got a lot of runners dead stopped. We've got Hikia on the side. We've got people like the Cobra already down to only about 10% health. Even Luinator, who's currently in P1, is not through unscathed. They've taken damage. You can see the health bar under their name there. Tiny, actually, one of the best off. Obviously started at the front of the grid, having come last in the last race. That's really where you want to be. We also have walls up at the top of these ramps, which means we can get people just crushed up into there. Tiny avoids the chaos. These are our front three on the left-hand side. Tiny makes it fourth. We then got people like Ko. Outfox is recovered again to a good position. Hasn't taken too much damage. We've got more carnage in the middle. The Cobra almost out. Cube taking damage there. Jack's on low health. Ugh. And they come around once again. You get a lot of speed. Doesn't matter what car you're in, but that downwards ramp gives you a decent amount of speed, which means it's never going to be a light hit coming through the middle. Drivers now going for some avoidance tactics, taking some wider lines here through the middle. Just don't want to get caught up. Oh! Jack! With the side flip, survives it, and we've got Cube, our first DNF of Bish Bash Bosh 2 even. Cube is out, and that just means they're going to sit here in the middle. The Atlantic Puffin jumps over the top, which is pretty impressive, I have to say. We can't see the damage so good, but people like the Cobra might have suspension damage. They are out! Cobra's out. Yeah, we can't see the damage so much as a spectator in the server, but these people can have stuff like bent suspension. They can get fully mashed up gearboxes. It can really slow their car down, make it hard to turn and actually avoid these crashes. And we are seeing that multiple stranded buses here in the middle. Jack jumps another. Who's actually winning? The Puffin. This is our P1, the Puffin here. On lap 4 out of 5. Laps Ko, who we can see is missing the front right wheel. That is not going to help getting up these hills. That is not a fun place to be, but you still have to stay in it for the points. Even though you're in P10, if someone else DNFs and you get ahead of them on distance, you're still going to take that place. And so you have to just keep going. The Puffin there, with Oswald now close behind in P2. Outfox is now in P3, and the Puffin finishes the race. They were on lap 5. Oswald, Jack, Outfox is going to get P3. WLGT TV Channel 10 New York is going to get P4. That's solid points. The Co, with only one wheel, I think is now starting the final lap. Hikia gets P5. That is brutal. Charter gets P6. Chris with P7, and these cars now are going slowly. Lou has to be so careful not to DNF there. If they had touched the wall, I think that would have been game over. On our two final runners, we got Jack. Is also missing the front right, I believe. Yeah, that bus is... that bus is limping. That's going to be a P9. Ko is going to secure P10. Doesn't really matter what happens at this point, because it's not like Tiny is catching up, are they? So that's going to be P10 for Ko as the timer finishes the race. Can they get to the line? Can Ko get to the line? No, but it doesn't matter. That is still 12 points for Ko. It's still solid points, you know. It keeps you off the bottom of the table. But 35 for the Puffin. 30 for Oswald. 25 for Outfox again. Some of our finalists from last time showing that they deserve to be there once more. Brutal scenes. Brutal scenes. Our final race of the Heat 1 is going to be Big Valley Speedway inner oval. So just a small oval in the Star Beast. Normal damage. Let's get that locked in. And let's get this race going. Big Valley Speedway. Inner oval. 10 laps we're doing on this one. Everyone's going to pick the Star Beast, and we're going. Normal damage. Bit more of a regular race again for this one. But it's still going to be some carnage. This is a very closed-in oval, and it does have walls around the outside, so we're going to see some people put into the wall, and the Star Beast is one of the fastest loaner cars in the game, so there's going to be some speed going on. It's going to be good. Braindead says, God, I love Ranch. I can't wait to see him. Ranch is a fan favorite. Didn't have the longest run in Bish Bash Bosh 1 last time, but they've left such an impression on the fan base here. And so I'm sure the crowd is going to go absolutely wild when Ranch joins the server for Heat 2, which is coming up just after this race. it's going to be scenes. It's going to be scenes. Will there be the same races for Heat 2? Yes. So Heat 2 is the same 3 races again, which means all of our drivers are going through the same challenge, need the same skills to get to the playoff both times. Otherwise, you know, we could be playing favourites. Some people are good at ovals, some people are good at the dirt courses, some people are great on things like the Recnado, like they know all the tactics. So it's good to give all our drivers the same test. Everyone is picking up the Star Beast. It's a loaner car again, which means it's a standard vehicle. You can't really change it apart from the tune, which is going to be important here. When we get a couple more readies, we're going to hit start and get this thing going. Oh. How many DNFs was that? It was only 3, actually. We obviously had a couple people lose some wheels close to being DNF'd, but only 3, so I was a bit optimistic with my 7 there. What have you got as a prediction, Shabby? I am curious what we're predicting on. Number of DNFs. Interesting. Obviously, yeah, not a chaos track. It doesn't have a crossover, but it's still going to be tight and it's still going to be competitive. Sometimes, you know, if you want a certain person to not finish in a good position, slamming them into the concrete is an excellent way to make that happen. So, so we could certainly see some DNFs here. Hey, Mr. V, let me know when the next Bish Bash Bosh is, and hopefully I'll be in if that's cool. It should be in 2 weeks' time. We've been doing these every 2 weeks up until now, so it should be exactly the same. Depending on Formula 1 timing, let me just check. Yeah. But that is Mother's Day. So potentially March 30th, but that is Mother's Day in the UK, so we'll have to see. We'll have to see because we don't want to rip people away from their families. I actually don't really care, but I'm assuming people may not want to join if they're meant to be doing stuff with their families, so it's going to be about 2 or 3 weeks' time, that kind of thing. We go once again. Tiny on pole. We're going to follow on board here. And they just turn left immediately. Did they get spun or did they turn? I don't know. But that's going to drop them down to P11 already. It's brutal sometimes in Bish Bash Bosh. And I'm not even showing you the race. Here we go. Tiny, who started on pole, is down at the back of the pack already. But maybe that keeps him out of trouble. Maybe that puts them in a good position to just go around. And no, they've made it onto the... They've made it backwards once again. It's tough for Tiny here. Cube is leading now ahead of Charter Hikia. This is going to be competitive. Everyone in the same car in the absolutely beautiful Bish Bash Bosh custom livery made by Time Traveler, who we will see in Heat 2. We do love a big fat pink ombre. So yeah, Cube and P1 fighting with Tiny, our back marker here. Tiny getting a bit feisty. We then have Hikia. Charter is trying to take P2 off them. Chris getting in the concrete, scattering debris across the track. This huge pack fighting for P4. Literally any of them could get P4 by the end of this. That is tough racing. Puffin gets spun. They are down in P11. They got time to recover because other people can get knocked out of this thing. But our front 2, Cube and Charter, are now running pretty clean. And this is a drone? Whose drone is that? That is not mine. Someone else streaming this. Yeah, it's a very short oval here, which is why we've got 10 laps going on, which just means cars are close together. People in the concrete, like Tiny getting just pushed around here. WLGT TV Channel 10 fighting with Outfox, who is down to P9. One of our favourites. They've got strong points already, so they'd probably be okay to make it to the playoffs. But you've got to be careful here. You do really have to be careful fighting with Channel 10 New York, trying to secure that P8. Where's our leaders? Oh, there's our leaders. Charter has made a good comeback and is now right on the tail of Cube. We're going to ride here actually in cockpit cam with Charter, if I can get it up. In with Charter, up the inside of turn 2 to take the lead. Cube right on the tail though. Can they make the same send? Charter holding the inside line. That is really where you want to be, because if you're on the inside, you can kind of dictate where everyone's going through that corner. You can push people to the outside, squeeze them out. Charter, with the racing skills to pay the racing bills, it's got ahead of Cube and has now got a bit of a gap as well. Looking real good. Let's go into the spherical camp here. And they have finished the race. That's Charter P1, Cube, Oswald, Hikia, Jack, Outfox recovers to P6 ahead of Co, Chris Gaming NL, Puffin, Luinator, then the Cobra down in P11. Channel 10 New York is actually yet to finish. Where are they? They're somewhere. Taking P12, and then Tiny with a struggle at the oval finishes P13, and I think that might be the last of them here in Bish Bash Bosh. Our bottom 3 drivers are going to be eliminated, so we'll see in just a second who that is. But I think it's not looking good for Tiny. Charter beating Cube and Equal Machinery. I mean, Charter's a 2-time winner, so can we say we're surprised? Charter has speed, and Charter is very consistent, which means we are going to say goodbye here to our bottom 3, which is going to be Tiny, the Cobra, and Luinator. Lou talking a real big game in the Discord, has been knocked out by just 3 points behind WLGT Channel 10 New York. I'm just going to make a note of our drivers going through. So we've got Outfox, Outfox, Charter, sorry, the Puffin, Jack, done very well there. Hikia, Outfox, Co, also known as Berg Power in the Discord. We got Cube going through, and then Chris Gaming, NL, and WLGT TV Channel 10 New York, who have no idea what their name is in Discord, so we'll figure that one out in a second. But those are our first 10 through into the playoffs. We're going to kick everyone out here. Please get out the server, and we are going to give a little ping in the Discord to invite our Heat 2 drivers in and do that all again. I'm about to ranch. We are all about to ranch here on this blessed day. Zach Wallace is WLGT. Lovely, lovely stuff. So, the Cobra out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is our 10 through. We're expecting, we've got another 16 sign-ups for Heat 2. We'll see how many of them have actually woken up after the Australian Grand Prix, which is tough. I can confirm that is tough to do. So we're going to give them a little ping. And then we're going to get Heat 2 going again. We've got drivers joining. Once again, we've got some familiar faces that you may recognize from previous runnings. We've got people like Timothy, people like Potako, who I believe we saw last time. Yolakal Skill. Ranch, the people's favorite. Ranch is here in Heat 2. The chat rejoices. Ranch is back. We've got I Am the Among Us. We've got Switzer, J-Moke, Time Traveler, the author of that livery we just saw on the Star Beast. Lovely stuff. Dianom, Cephalopod, PTXT, and Alex Norris, who was called out by Outfox before. Not going to face them just yet, as Outfox is through from Heat 1. But if Alex makes it through, which they've done twice before, they are going to be facing off in the quarters. So, we are going to put our first track back on. It is, of course, the Forward Motor Center Rally Course Class B Normal Damage. Let's get that loaded up. Three laps of that. Bum, bum, bum. Class B. Lovely stuff. Charter's an amazing driver. Charter's good. Charter is solid. You gotta be careful. I will say, Cube, you're leaving yourself a little bit exposed to those inside lines. You gotta be careful on a tight oval like that, because Ascend up the inside is basically a guaranteed pass because you can then just squash the person on the outside. No zooming past. Where is zooming past? That is a good shout. Unless they're in the server and they're just a little bit further down. No. We do have Zach Wallace, who actually pulled Heat 1. Unless they swapped over and I just didn't even notice. I'm going to give zooming past a quick ping just to see if we're getting them. Because it would be good, as always, to have our YouTube representation. He may just be sleeping. To be fair, it's more of a normal time in Canada than it is here in the UK, at least if he was trying to watch the Grand Prix last night. So there's no excuse. There is no excuse. But yeah, some scenes. We've had our very first Chaos track of Bish Bash Bosh. It would be nice to see something like the Recnado and slightly faster vehicles because those buses don't have the most speed. People are voting to kick Zach Wallace. Zach Wallace, who did pull Heat 1 in the draw, but has turned up for Heat 2 instead. Maybe it's a little bit unfair to the people who are actually Heat 2. We shall see. We shall see. I don't know. I'm just checking if Zach asked to be changed and I just missed it. No, they were struggling with joining the server. Okay. I'm going to allow it. I'm going to allow everyone. He already raced. Wait. Zach, you trying to join twice? You trying to race twice? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, fine. No, my bad. My bad. Get him out. Okay. Okay. It's all good. It's confusing with the name changes. Oh, bro. One second. One second. We got some organizational issues. Right. Zach, I will say, please don't join again. You're just going to get banned if you keep doing that because you're slowing down the whole event. But yeah, it should be good. Okay, we've got drivers coming in. We do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh.
I lost 2 bowls and finished a single race. I shall now gracefully retire from my excellent racing career.
Tiny, you put on a show for us. Not entirely sure what you were doing with the hard left turn at the start of the final race there, but you put on a show. Thank you for the entertainment. We'd love to have you back for Bish Bash Bosh number 3 if you're free whenever it's going on. Thank you for joining. And thank you for the Prime sub as well. Could we get an interview of Ranch sometime? Yeah, I think if Ranch makes it through to the final, Ranch has a very strong chance of winning Driver of the Day, and we will be running interviews. So, I was just counting. We do have 15, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 12, 13, 14. 14 drivers here, if I could count. So, 14 people, one more than Heat 1. Drivers have all chosen a car, so we're going to get the countdown going for them. It's back onto the Forward Motor Centre rally circuit, a bit more of a normal circuit before we go to the Recnado. Let's see who's looking best here in Heat 2. I will actually show you the race this time. We're currently following Switzer, who is near the back of the pack. Well, actually, he's in P2. I guess push wide, though. Big pile up there. We've got PTXT, J-Moke, Time Traveler turned around. The author of lots of our liveries. People clearly unhappy with the graphic design. And Alex Norris, called out by Outfox, that has only spurred him on. Currently up in P1. Among us, Yolikowskill in P2. Making a move up in that big old muscle car. Making it through into P2. Then in behind, we've got people like Jab. We've got Switzer, Pete, Tim, Littlehaven, Potako, Dianom, J-Moke, Time Traveler P12, Ranch P13. And Cephalopod currently rounding it out, but there's some fights up and down the grid. We're going to see some more people spun around, I think. Alex has got a commanding lead here as he makes his way through the tires, peppered across the second straight. Yolikowskill and Among Us are side by side, but they're racing clean. They are giving each other space. They're being nice to each other. Do we want to see that? We don't see that from Switzer and Jab. I have to say, Switzer with the with the body barge making their way through into P4. Let's look here. Time Traveler in Little Heaven. Time Traveler fully spun at the very start. Is going to want to make up some ground again. Do they do that in a nice way? Do they do that in an aggressive way? They're going to be on the inside for this hard right coming up. On the brakes. Oh, makes it through. Timothy's been sent off. Timothy in the rammer, I believe that is. The custom rammer has dropped down into P10. Alex way out in front. And actually, Jolikowskill and the Among Us still there, fighting for P2. And they're just being so nice. They're just being so nice to each other. Switzer goes wide. Switzer goes wide at the hard left-hander. And drops down into P5 as Pete gets P4. Potako, Time Traveler there in P7. Then we've got Littlehaven, Timothy, Ranch has made their way up into P10. It's good enough for a playoff run so far. If they can hold that in the next couple of races. Diamond, with the Intercontinental Ballistic Missile as Alex Norris explodes the server with their first P1 of the day. Among Us, Yolikowskill, Pete, Switzer in P5, Potako, Time Traveler. We then get Littlehaven for P8. Ranch P9. It's good points ahead of Timothy, who had a good start but had a couple fumbles there. J-Moke is going to get P11. Dianom, Jab for P13. Cephalopod. Cephalopod with a bit of a struggle up in the trees there. Getting that car a bit squirmy. And that is the wrong way. That is the wrong way. And it seems that Zach Wallace has joined again. He's had a message in Discord and here, so we're going to kick him one more time, but if it happens again, it's a ban. I have to say. We have 14 drivers. Our bottom 4 are going to be dropped. Currently, it's J-Moke, Dianom, Unit Jab 10, and Cephalopod. But they're not separated by much. It's also only 1 point between P11 and P10. That can all change. That can all change. Zach is getting kicked again. We don't want to have any interruptions, guys. So please, please stop joining if it's not your heat. I'm just spectating, not racing. You're going to have to spectate from the stream, man. You're going to have to spectate from the stream. Because it's going to mess up the points. Stuff like this. No one else is spectating in the server, Zach. So you're going to have to spectate on the stream and you'll be back in a second. But yeah, it just messes up. It messes up our admin for trying to get the points and everything. So please don't join the server when it's not your time. I don't want to ban him. He is... It seems to be well intended. But just not the right thing to do. Okay. Reknado, 5 laps in the school bus in realistic damage. Let's get it locked in. Give the drivers a second to choose their livery. And then we're on to race 2. Reknado, 5 laps. Gonna be the school bus. Gonna be realistic damage. Oh, No, that's AI difficulty. That's why it's the wrong thing. There we go. Just giving all our drivers a second. Zach, come on. Come on, guys. Let's just help out. Let's help out the operation, right? Wallace is trying to cheat Ranch out of a win. Everyone is rooting for Ranch. They're seeing Ranch conspiracies left, right, and center. I don't believe Zach is here specifically for Ranch. But you never know, I suppose. You never know. What do you mean you don't want to ban him? He qualified. He made it through. He did qualify. So we don't want to lose a driver from the playoffs. But yeah. Everyone is back in the school bus. Potako, if we could have loaner school bus, please. Changing car. See if we can find it. It's all the way to the right hand side of the list. There we go. Everybody's ready. Ranch is not. Ranch is ready. Potako's ready. We're going to start this thing straight in to the Recnado. We'll get in the free cam because we want to see this carnage real quick. And all the buses coming down here. Unit Jabbo leading. J-Moke, Cephalopod, Ranch, Dynam. Oh my god, the streams of buses come through. Got a nice mix of liveries, nice couple colours so we can tell them apart. Couple people in the BISH BASH BOSH standard, repping the teal and pink. We love to see. And Jab is going to be the first one across the middle and is going to come across clean because of it. J-Moke and Time Traveller collide. We got buses on their side. Time Traveller almost DNF'd already. That is low health, but everyone is still going. Ranch gets out clean. Alex dropping down from the sky, apparently. I didn't know that was a thing. And yeah, Jab and Switzer both through clean and have now got a commanding lead. J-Moke and Cephalopod as well, running pretty well. Kind of coming 2 by 2. It's Noah's Ark style here. And, oh, Jab meets Dynam. Switzer takes a hit as well. And Time Traveller's out. Where is Time Traveller? Where's that bus ended up? It's there. He's parked it nicely out the way, so it's not going to interfere with anyone else. But Time Traveller has secured a P14. That is tough. Jab is still in the lead after that collision. Gonna come across the middle with no one in the way. Looking good. Pete gets sent into the wall in the background there. Switzer P2. Among Us flips Potako. Potako's lost a wheel, which is not helping. Jolakowski's lost a wheel, but he's actually still on P8, which is very, very impressive. Let's follow him along. Where the hell's he gone? There he is. Yeah, Jolakowski. Only one front wheel on that bus, but somehow holding off the likes of Littlehaven, who might have damage as well that we're just not seeing. That's impressive, honestly, to still be running in the top 10. Unit wins this thing ahead of Switzer, Ranch, J-Mock. Got people crossing the line now. Some of these people are a lap down, I believe. Oh, no, they haven't finished. They're still going. I'm being stupid. Jab is still running. That might be the final lap, though. Let's see here as they cross the line. And just excellent stuff from Jab. Just to stay out of harm's way. Just really not very easy. We've got more wrecks in the middle. J-Mock, Timothy, Potako all out. Oh, and damage as well for Jolakowski. Alex, Switzer on their side. Still in P2 technically, but Ranch! The people's favourite Ranch takes P2. I don't think they're close enough to get to P1 unless Jab gets collided with here, but doesn't. Gets through clean. But Ranch, the people's favourite Ranch, on for a podium place in P2. Makes a little bump onto this puke green car in the middle. Yeah. Unit with the win. Switzer wants that P2 back. And Switzer's going to get it. Ranch still gets a podium, but it's P3. All things considered. Cephalopod dying on P5. Littlehaven is nice and clean there. Going to get P6. And we still got people like Yolakowskill on 3 wheels for most of this race. Is going to secure a P7. I have no idea how. Absolutely no idea how. It's very, very impressive. Alex Norris is the final person still running, missing at least 1 wheel, if not 2. No, they still got their back wheels, but yeah, missing the front left. It makes it hard to turn. I have heard, makes it real hard to turn, and you may have noticed there are some corners on this track. So yeah, Alex, after a really strong showing in race 1, 8th in P2 with the damage, but Reknado will get you. It doesn't matter if you're fast or not. Reknado can just get you like that. But yeah, Time Traveler with the early DNF. 4 HP left for Yolakowskill, apparently. That is so impressive to get that finishing position, which means Alex is still leading going into the final race, but he is close at the top. Our bottom 4 currently, Potako, Time Traveler now, J-Mock and Timothy, but it's anyone's game. Dynam and Cephalopod, currently P9, P10, both on 28 points, only a couple points ahead. And so depending on what we get here, we could see a change once more. We head off to the Big Valley Speedway inner circle for 10 laps in the Star Beast with normal damage to decide who's going through to the playoffs. We're going to give people a little bit of time. They can actually do a tune on the cars now. So we're going to give them a little bit of time to get that nailed in, because the tune makes all the difference. V, wait up. What's going on, Shabby? You doing another prediction? We'll give them a minute because people need to tune these Star Beasts as well. So we can wait. We can head back out. Guys, it has happened. Ranch podium. I know you're excited. Oh, we've had people knocked out. PTXT. PTXT knocked out. 28 points for Pete. Let me see if I remember the command. Cup points. Adjust. What's your number, Pete? 12. So that puts Pete, yeah. Actually, Pete is P10. So we've got 3 people. I'll show you the thing. We've got 3 people on 28 points. Cephalopod, Dynam, and Pete. P8, P9, and P10. All on 28 points. Only 2 points ahead of Potako. 4 points ahead of Time Traveler. There are so many people fighting for a playoff berth here. It's going to be feisty, and it's a feisty, feisty track. Everyone's in their Star Beast. They're getting their tunes done. Some of our front runners, Alex, Switzer, Jab, Among Us, Yolakowskill, Ranch, currently sitting in P6. The Rhodium has come true. The Rhodium has come true. We know who chat is vying for here today. We know who the fan favorite here is in the grandstands of Bish Bash Bosh 2. The Rhodium. Let's see, is Ranch an ovals expert? I forget where they were knocked out last time. I see. Zach is trying to come in after the race starts so they can spectate. It's fine. It's fine. Get in your cars, everybody. I don't want to ban one of our playoff drivers. It's all good. Zach, if you just watch the stream, you can see when the race starts at the very least. We're going to start the countdown here. People have had enough time. On to a little oval to decide our playoff runners. Top 10 going through. We should see a lot of that beautiful Star Beast livery again. We have Zach in. 1 second. There we go. We're going to get up into the free cam straight away. J-Moke on pole as our lowest points runner so far. Ahead of Timothy, Taco Time Traveler, who's trying to get a good finish here. Time Traveler does have speed and has made the final before. So kind of surprising to see them so low down. Obviously that DNF didn't help. Really not many points in the previous round. But going well. Currently in P3, J-Mook seems to have got the hang of the Star Beast. He's got a bit of a lead going in P1. We've got Tussles behind, Dianom on Timothy, Alex Norris around the outside. Alex was proven to be a bit of an oval specialist as well in previous runnings of BISH Bash Bosh. On the back of Time Traveller, got some nice lines, got some nice speed through here. Going well so far. Among Us P4, Switzer up the inside of 2 on Yolokowski and Dianom. Jab and Potako behind, currently fighting for P8. And J-Mook drops it, has dropped down into P5 and gets spun round. No, J-Mook, who's currently last on points, and just went a little bit wide there. I think hit these tires. These things are not soft and rubbery. Those are tough. You do not want to touch them, which means Alex is up into P1 here. Switzer with Time Traveller in P3. I'm going to ride on board with Time Traveller, actually. We'll go on the spherical cam. If we can find him. Currently in P3. This should see Time Traveller into the playoffs. It's a good points haul. 25 points for this P3. Needs to be careful with the Among Us up the inside. Just needs to stay clean. Sometimes, you know, conceding the battles is the best thing to do. Because getting sent into the wall, as we've seen from J-Mook, can drop you a lot of places here. So you've got to be really, really careful. We've got Carnage behind again. All of these pink cars, quite hard to tell who's who, I have to say. Time Traveller up the inside. Among Us, close to the concrete. He's just a big fan of Brutus architecture. Who can blame him? And who is that in the wall? It's Alex Norris from P1 into the wall. And Time Traveller takes P2. This is the comeback he needed. He's driving his own paint job, as is everybody else. Clearly the colours spurring him on. And why wouldn't they? Medium speed corner on the rear wheel well. Did not notice that before. Lovely stuff. And Switzer up in P1. Timothy is a back marker. Currently blocking Alex and Time Traveller. They're having none of it. Pushes Timothy out the way. One goes up the inside, one goes up the outside. Little touch of the barriers. Alex takes P2. Timothy looking for revenge. It's being relatively nice. Let's jump out there. Let's see what's happening further down. It looks like Time Traveller is getting a solid place here. We've got Pete P4 fighting the end Among Us, fighting Dianom. Jab looking to get in there as well. Potako, Littlehaven, Yolokowski. Ranch has taken quite a bit of damage there. Ranch currently running P14. Have people been aiming for Ranch? Have people been aiming for the fan favourite? We don't want to see that. Timothy there. Currently P13. And Ranch is going to be the last one to finish, which means Switzer wins ahead of Alex. Time Traveller, Pete, Dianom. All good points for them, all looking safe. I think Time Traveller's done enough to be safe. I think Pete as well was down on the drop-off zone, but he's going to be safe. It's going to be interesting to see who our bottom 4 are. We could see some upsets here. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? And so our bottom 4 is going to be Timothy, J-Mook, Cephalopod, and Potako. They are dropping out. Timothy, Potako, Cephalopod, and J-Mook. J-Mook, who was looking so good there until that crash into the tyre. That is tough. So we've got Pete through, Time Traveller, Alex Norris, Dianom has gone through, Littlehaven, Among Us. Ranch goes through into the quarterfinals with Switzer, with Jab. And Yolokowski, I think, makes 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, they do. Zooming past is a no-show. He is going to be out. A couple other no-shows as well. Just cross them off the list so we know who to look for next time. And so we have our 20 drivers for the playoffs. We can see people like Outfox and Zach are coming back. Zach is on their final warning. I know people are not happy about it, but they weren't trying to drive. He was just trying to spectate, even though that's not how we go. We're going to put some more strict rules in next time, don't worry. But Ranch does survive, and so those top 10 can stay here to go straight off into the playoffs. We're going to give our drivers a ping to get back, which we'll sort out after this quick message from today's sponsor.
What the hell is a carburetor? That's a genuine question. I do not know what it does. All I know is if I attach pipes to it, stick it in a car, that car goes vroom vroom. I work at Mr. V's garage. We don't exactly work the fastest. It's not slow service. I guess you could call it medium speed service. Do we fix every car every time? No. Are we reliable? Not particularly. Are we cheap? Also, not really, compared to local competitors. Feels like I've been working here for years. Decades, maybe. When did we start, actually? 2021? That's only 3 years ago! Wow, that's depressing. Anyway, my boss told me that if I don't make more money around here, he's gonna fire me. So I took the company mascot and printed it on these 100% cotton t-shirts. You can buy them now at MrV'sGarage.com. Channel members and Patreons get 10% off. That's MrV'sGarage.com. Now, back to whatever you were watching.
And we are back. We have 19 of our 20 drivers here in the server. We're waiting for the Puffin. Atlantic Puffin, if you're watching the stream, get in there. We're going to give him a ping as well. Just as we're setting everything up here. And there we go. We have 20 drivers. We have all 20 drivers. We are back. So, for those of you new to Bish Bash Bosh, things run a little bit differently now in the playoffs. We are going to have the timer. So the way the timer works is for the quarters and for the semis, we are going to have 12 minutes on the clock. As the lights go out, the timer starts to tick down, and as the winner of each individual race crosses the line, as long as I do it at the right time, the timer is gonna stop. If we still have time, we run the race again. It's the same map run multiple times, which gives drivers a bit of a time to learn the lines, see what their competitors are doing. It also gives a bit of time for rivalries to form. We already have a couple. We've heard about the rivalry of Outfox and Alex, who are now both in the server. It's going to be random grid for this first one, so we shall see if they end up next to each other. But you know, if you start to learn someone else with a similar driving style to you, someone who you're fighting with to not get eliminated, as the races go again and we start from the grid again, it gives you a chance, you know, maybe make a move on someone. It's going to be very, very interesting. We start here in the quarterfinals with 8 laps, Espadon short reverse in Class C. I'm going to get that locked into the server and give drivers just a second to choose their car, because there's a few options in Class C. Espadon short reverse. There we go. Tell him to do school bus. Croissant, very unhappy about that one. School bus sucks. I need a sip of that. You can't have the green screen juice. This is Mr. V's special recipe. I can't tell you the secrets of the green screen. That's my whole goddamn career. If I told everyone how to do it, where would I be? I wouldn't be the green screen man. I would just be a man. I can't be having that, can I? So, yeah. Drivers are all picking. We're seeing a mix of cars here. Let's take a look at what kind of things they're going for. We see actually a real mix here. Puffin in the Nexus RX. Outfox is still choosing. He might be tuning a car down. Or might just be deciding which one. But obviously cannot join with an A-Class. Gone for the Hot Bomb, apparently. We've got Speedbirds, Cardinals, the Raiden RS, which is a very popular pick. Rocket, Speedies, Rocket, Raiden RS, Rocket, Gremlin. If you don't know what lots of those cars are, neither do I. It's all good. But we will see very shortly. But I do like having class restrictions. Gives a bit of a mixture. But there is a meta in this game. Cars are based in classes. They get like a performance rating. And if you upgrade them with a different engine, they get a higher number. And therefore they go class B or whatever. But even if all the cars are 164, not all cars are made equal. They have different like suspension characteristics, different dynamics. There is kind of a meta in this game, and so we have seen in the past some convergence with certain cars being used by most of the top runners. We do have a mix here. We'll probably see a bit more of that as we get more towards the final. But yeah, it looks like most people are picked. We've got some tuning going on, that kind of thing. Going to give our drivers a 20-second timer before everything gets locked in. Predictions, guys. Predictions. Who are we rooting for? I mean, that might be a stupid question. I think I know who chat is rooting for. Is the green screen juice Monster Ultra and motor oil? You can't see. Obviously, you can't see what color, but it is like a motor oil yellow. Don't know why it picks up on the green screen, but it is like a sort of dark yellow. It's not the worst guess. It's not the worst guess I've ever heard. Ranch rooting for Porygon, which obviously means Switzer. Ranch Oswald, who almost won last time with that spin on the final lap. Outfox fans in the chat. Potako rooting for Outfox. I guess if Potako can't make it themselves, they're cheering on the Fox. Ranch on top. Let's see. Ranch did pretty good in that final race there. Let's see if they make it further through the playoffs. We're going to give them the countdown in server. Just going to start locking their cars into place. They've had enough time at this point. These guys fumbling around, tuning their cars. It's got an engine. It's got wheels. It's good enough. It's good enough for Wreckfest. It's going to be good. Rooting for Alex. It's nice to see some mixture. It's nice to see people rooting for all different drivers here. Obviously, 15 of these guys are going to make it through to the semis. 5 are going to be dropped out. Espadorlan, short reverse. We start by watching Alex Norris on pole. He's locked out with the random pick here. But going through this first chicane, almost hits the barrier. Some people behind not so lucky. We saw carnage. Alex being pushed off. Pete is trying to take that P3, but Jack HW in the Mini, like in the very first race, has taken an early lead here. Pete getting squirmy. Hikia behind as well. Jack with jab behind. Alex going quickly. It's a hard left there. People not making it. Let's go into free cam. There's a lot of carnage there. That is a hard left-hander. And a lot of people in the concrete. Don't know where Zach's going. It's an interesting tactic. The game says no. So they've been reset. A lot of chicanes here on this short circuit. Jack has navigated them well. Ahead of Jab, Alex, Outfox. Oh, God. You do not want to get in the way of that thing. Charter, currently in P5. Oswald, Co, Dynam. Bit of a fight here. Pete and the Among Us just taken a lot of damage. Ranch, currently in P15, would be the final driver to qualify if this was the only race. And I didn't start the timer. I completely forgot. We're going to start it now. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Yeah, it'll be fine. Don't worry about it. We've only lost 30 seconds or something. Probably about 40 for the first lap. Outfox has made it up to P2. Let's follow Outfox around. One of our favorites in every Bish Bash Bosh so far. Improving why here. With the send! With the send into the hard left! That's the kind of driving that has seen Outfox so successful so far. That car looks like it weighs, I was going to say a ton, but probably more than that, 2 or 3. And just chucking it round, hunting down that Mini. And you have to know, if this battle wagon, this Mad Max style hot rod catches this Mini, Jack is in for a world of hurt. I would be running scared if I was Jack here currently. We then have Charter, our 2-time winner, in P3. Oswald close behind. Co as well. Time Traveler up the inside of the unit. It's nice to see Time Traveler made it through because they have been one of our most successful drivers in the previous runnings. It's good to see them not knocked out here from the heats. That would have been quite an upset. Alex through there, currently in P7. Bit of a pack here. Pete among us, Puffin, Switzer. And Cube with a send! Cube with a send on Hikia. Doesn't quite get through, but it's right up onto this pack. Ranch in a police car, not seeing any respect. They would claim they're here to protect and serve. What does that say on the back? They're moving a little bit fast. I would ask them to slow down, but that's not really how racing works. Normally here to protect and serve. Looks like deflect and swerve. Here at Espadal and Cube getting all kinds of sideways on the grass. It is not quicker, I have to say. Takes out the 100-meter board. Nobody's going to know how far they are from the corner. And now is backwards, thanks to Chris. Dionom. Ooh, almost had a collision there. Almost had a collision. And they are about to be lapped because this is our leader, Jack, on lap 6, I want to say. Outfox as well. And Zach Wallace, we see has been DNF'd. I don't know where on the circuit that happened. I get the feeling there's some people in the server unhappy with Jack joining in Heat 2 there. I get the feeling that may have been targeted. We follow along here. Outfox has got close to Jack, but Jack has found a bit of extra pace to keep that Mini in the lead. Oh, but maybe slow going through the back markers. Outfox gets a nice run around the outside. Getting closed off by Dionom though. Dionom says no. They've seen Outfox before. And they just want to make it tricky if Outfox want to make another run at the title here. Trying to get through these back markers. Jack as well getting pushed really wide by Cube. Cube, one of our most aggressive drivers here in the first race of the playoffs. And that's going to allow Outfox through up the inside. Tries to get a hit on Jack. Gets a little touch, little kiss of the bumper, lovely little peck, and another little body slam. Not doing much damage though. He's pushing Jack wide and he's slowing him down. He hasn't crushed the car, but Jack retaliates, pushes Outfox into the barrier, remains in P2. Goes for Dionom as well. Bit of revenge on that back marker who's making it tricky. And Outfox is going to win race 1 of the quarterfinals. We've got Co there, P5. Little Haven is a back marker. Alex Norris is going to get P7. That's good points. Pete, Puffin, Jab is then going to get P10. These are all very safe positions. We're going to have more runnings. I'm letting the timer go just a few more seconds. We're going to pause it. 7:56. That seems good. That seems fair. Switzer gets P11. Ranch P12. It's a good position. Hikia has also been DNF'd. I think that's Hikia there. On the very final corner. I think maybe it was a lap down, but still. Dionom is going to cross a P16 ahead of Yolokowska. Little Haven, our final runner, is going to get P18 ahead of Hikia. So Hikia with a DNF. We saw Zach Wallace DNF'd as well right at the start there. I do feel like that might be some vigilante justice from the other drivers. Zach has left the server. We'll see if he comes back. Dionom's saying they've got 1 hour in this game. has translated that into 6 points, though. It's not terrible. Currently going through. Currently, that's P15. I want to say, we're going to give it a second. A couple of people quit here. I'm going to give them a minute just to get back in. RIP Hikia. Yeah. Hikia obviously went with the killer bee. It's a light car and it can be really fast, but it is not strong. And so a couple hits into those barriers and it starts to go real bad for you. It starts to go real bad. We've had a couple of people quit. I'm just wondering, because that's not the only race. We do have more races here. Let's see if they come back. Oh, I am the Among Us forced me to buy the game and play. I mean, currently, Dynam, you're making it through. We got Zach back. We'll see if Little Haven comes back as well. I think we've lost a couple people. We had Little Haven quit. He was going to dox you if you didn't. Well, we don't condone that kind of behavior. But then again, any racing fan should have right first. It's a fantastic game. Hekia has chosen a B-class car, which is not going to work all that good, so it's going to have to change back. And we do seem to have lost a driver. Just checking in the Discord if everything's okay with Little Haven there. Says he's coming back, so we'll give him a second. We've had people before with game issues. Wreckfest can just crash on you, and it could be, you know, an internet restart, that kind of thing. So give him a second here as we head back to the desk. Oh, Little Haven is back. Little Haven is back. They will have lost their points if anyone would have seen the points they got for the last one. I want to say it was 4 for Little Haven and 2 for Zach. That's not the command. There we go. Zach is number 14. Oh, that's not working at all because I have to decide. Guys, don't leave the server. All of you just messing around. Okay. Gonna reset the timer. What are we thinking? 4 minutes 50 that first race, which gives us 7:10 on the clock. So it's about right. It's about right. So I'll just leave it on 7:17. Yeah. The time is bound to O and P. It's like start and pause. So if I have to fucking give people more points if they leave, then it kind of screws it up. It's all good. I would normally be doing that server side, but the server is not working today. I can't load it in browser, so that's great. It's all good. It's all good. A couple people choosing their car. We're going to give them 2 seconds here. Quite literally. We head into race 2. We roll it back. It's going to be 3 races. It certainly looks like it. Yeah, it was about 4 minutes something there. So we're going to get 2 more runnings of this. We do have reverse grids, guys, which means Outfox is going to be starting at the back alongside people like Jack and Oswald and Charter. Zach, Hikia, and Little Haven are going to be on the front row. I will say on a track like this, that might not be the best place to be. Let's get in the free cam once more. You see the rundown, because turn 1 is the chicane. It does have concrete, and you've got a lot of cars behind you. We see a spin there. Who was that going around? I think it might have been Cube. Did a full 360. Pete is off into the grass. Charter with the shark off into the grass as well. Right down the back. And Ranch! Ranch got taken out. Is Ranch driving? Is something wrong? Something weird happened with Ranch there. I do not know, but they're driving again now. Hikia gets an early lead after the DNF, but they've now got through, and in Clean Air seems to have some decent speed. Dynam outfox P3 ahead of Oswald, Switzer, Jack, the Puffin, a few of our favourites. The Puffin on their first time here in BISH, BASH, BOSH, putting in an impressive showing so far. It's really kicking it with some of our regulars. Doing well. This is going to be a tough fight for P2. Hikia has got quite a lead so far. But yeah, Outfox with quite a pack behind. Outfox is quite quick in the hot bomb. So are these people behind. Outfox is very consistent, is all I will say. We don't often see a mistake, which drops Outfox down. So it's all on the sort of P3, P4 guys to put in some really good laps and catch up. Oh, that was close, though. On a track like this, if you're getting close to the barriers, if you misjudge it slightly on entry, you can end up way further down. And you never know when Outfox gets onto the back of Hikia, which is looking like it could happen soon. We could get some fighting. Hard right-hander. Hikia gets through clean. Outfox is closer. Wheels on the grass is going to give a bad exit. But not that bad. And now up the inside, they make contact. Outfox has taken P1 by any means necessary. But Hikia is not finished there. Lets them through. But it's still up the inside. Tries to push Outfox wide. But Outfox, and I'm going to have to say it, Outfoxes Hikia. Lets them through onto the grass. Hikia keeps the speed, though. And let's jack into the fight now. This is a three-way fight for the lead coming down the backstretch. And they hit the wrong turn-in point. I think Hikia saw this piece of tarmac, thought that was the track, started to turn in at the wrong place. Outfox sends him into the barrier, allowing Jack into the lead again. So it's very similar to the first race. I didn't start the timer. Oh, my God. I didn't start the timer. It's all good. Outfox up into P1. Puff in P3 now. Oswald has taken P4. Hikia, after that slam to the concrete, is now in P5. Further back, we've got Charter fighting Dynam, Yolikowsko, and Alex Norris as well. All really close. Let's stay on this pack. Because these are some seriously quick drivers. Just finding themselves a little bit further down. Alex with the send, making a good move. Hits the back of Charter. Kind of stays in there. Charter's kind of cementing that P6. This is going to be a fight here. This is going to be a tough fight between Alex and Dynam. Dynam is going well, keeping some nice defensive lines, but goes wide. Too much speed there on the left-hander, and Alex is through to P7, and now is in a clean bit of track. Dynam has to watch out for Yolikowsko behind. There's more people coming, and they all want those points. Yep. And the Dynam messes up the turn-in. Hits the concrete, which stops people cutting the apex, and drops the whole way down P14. That is devastating there. Back behind, we got people like Chris Gaming, Time Traveler going up the inside of Zach Wallace. Little Haven again. Didn't have a great run the first time. Cube quits. Cube with the disconnect. Sadly, disconnecting mid-race does just net you 0 points. That is a shame for Cube. That might be a game crash. It might be an internet issue, but that is a shame. That is a shame to disconnect at this point in time. Let's go to our front runners again. Jack HW currently leading, I think, on the final lap here. The Puffin and Outfox has been put down as P3. I guess had some contact. Zach going backwards, and that is against the rules. Zach going backwards is fully against the rules. That is going to be a ban from the competition. We did show it up at the start. At that point, that's too many notes on your file, Zach, and we're going to have to knock you out for that one. We go back to the front. Jack has got a gap to the Puffin behind, and he's going to take P1 here in the second race. But the Puffin at the final corner spins. Oswald through into P2. Puffin gets straight again, allowing them to take P3 ahead of Outfox. I'm going to let the timer tick down just until about 3:30. It's going to be the right time. And Zach gets DNF'd at the back there. Alex, we've got Pete here in P10 unit. Switzer comes across P12, but still enough points to go through. 15 drivers going through into the semis. Dynam P14, Time Traveler P15, still enough technically. Little Haven, and then Ranch The People's Champion Ranch. P18 on the track, only 4 points. Cube had a game crash. That's a shame, but Cube, get back in here. You never know. You never know. It could still be all to play for. We've obviously had a couple disconnects. Zach, for driving backwards, which was explicitly in the rules, is going to earn a ban. I don't want to have to ban people, but we have to uphold the rules. They're there for a reason, and if we don't want a competitive race ruined by someone doing that kind of thing, there's been a couple warnings already, so we're going to pause the timer there on 3:46 just to have the right kind of vibe. And Zach, number 14 in the server, is actually just going to get banned from the server for now. Driving backwards, explicitly in the rules, we do not allow that. And that frees up a spot. We're still going to have 15 people going through. So it frees up a place currently in the drop zone. Assuming we've still got 19 people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So Chris is currently the last person safe through into the semis. Dynamite Ranch and Little Haven. Hopefully, we're going to get Cube back in. If anyone knows Cube's points, we will adjust them back up. But if you leave, sadly, the server does not remember. Cube, 10 points. Okay, Cube, get back in here. Get back in here. We want to have you back if you can do it. If your game is cooperating. Because we'd love to have you. Again, one of the most recognizable names in Bish Bash Bosh due to the incident. The incident in Bish Bash Bosh 0. We can give you a second. That's fine. We'll head back to the desk. But yeah. It's a shame, guys. And Zach, if you're watching, I'm sorry to have to ban you, but we got rules for a reason. You were warned multiple times about joining, and then driving backwards, again, is explicitly in the rules that were given to all the drivers. So, yeah. So, yeah. Do we have Cube back again? We do! We do! Okay, we're going to give Cube 10 points. It's going to mess up the timer again. I wish I could do this without typing, but again, server side is not working, so that's great. Oh, come on. Which still means Cube is down in the drop zone. But they have a chance. They have a chance. I'll show you the points in a second. I'm just trying to put the timer back. I think it was 3:47. There we go. Get that readjusted. 3:46. You know what? It's the same thing. Let's show you then. So we're going to have 4 drivers eliminated, as we've already had 1 disqualification. Currently, those 4 are Dynam, Ranch, Cube, and Little Haven. But, you know... Well, actually, there's a tie. There's a tie currently for P15. I don't think that's possible because everyone's going to get different points for the final race. But currently, these 3 drivers are all P15. I don't know how it's deciding that Chris is in this position. I guess it's best finish. But yeah, the cutoff is currently on 14 points. These are the names to watch. These 5. Among Us as well is 4 points ahead. They have a really bad showing. We shall see. But let's get this started here. The final running of the quarterfinals. Most people ahead. Oh, it's just alphabetical? Yeah, it could be. Interesting. Well, hopefully we don't have a tie. Because I have literally not accounted for that in the rules. So I don't know what to do. So I'm just really hoping we don't have a tie on P15. And we're going to be following Cube here. Coming through turn 1. And actually gets up into the lead. No, but the Among Us of the inside sends Cube out. And now there's cars behind. And there's a barrier. A 360 pirouette onto the grass. And more concrete. And that's Cube down in P18 alongside the bus of Little Haven. And Cube has some history with buses. They have some history with buses. That's all I'll say. We get the timer going, but this is going to be the final race. They're taking about 4.5 minutes. But a carnage here at the kind of hairpin. allows Cube through. The grass is not the place to be, but they're up into P14. Will that be the points needed? We've got Ranch P15. We've got some of the other people at the back. Dynam is currently in P5, which is excellent for them. Chris Gaming as well, P3. Huge haul of points if they want to qualify through here. Everybody going off wide here. Everybody going off wide. Let's head to the front. Let's follow Chris Gaming. Currently P15 in the server, but P3 in this race. A little bit wide at the hairpin. Allows Dynam through. That is a bright car. That is a vivid car. Kind of looks like if you've been eating just a ton of Doritos and Monster Energy, that's what it looks like about 3 hours later. Yeah. And Chris wants to have a good showing, but does have Outfox right next to him. And Outfox is an aggressive driver at times, and that car is built for contact. As we see, Jack with the spin. Jack obviously sees Outfox as one of their main competitors here, and is trying to send them down. That puts Outfox in P11. Probably still going to be fine with a lot of points going into this. But Jack playing the psychological game. Bit of a Max Verstappen move, that one. But there's no penalties in Bish Bash Bosh. That is fully legal. Chris Gaming here, therefore in P6, fighting Jack. We're going to stay on Chris. All the highlight on Chris. Actually, no, let's head back down. Some of the people in the drop zone. Let's go back. And Alex Norris gets eliminated by Outfox. I mean, Outfox did call Alex out in previous runnings, and he was not messing around. He was not bullshitting. When Outfox said he was coming for Alex, he meant it. Alex in the barriers, P19 in the final race of the playoffs. I think Alex has enough points to get through, but it's going to be tight. We're going to have to see how that ends them up. Outfox now is just trying to get back. Bit of pride here, trying to get the best finish position possible. Cube obviously having none of that. Wants these points, but oh god. Again, this car has a snowplow on the front. And Cube looks like a snowflake as far as Outfox is concerned. Not in the fucking Twitter insult. You know what I mean. I would be scared if I was time traveler, I have to say. Outfox has a taste for blood. And it looks like anyone nearby on track is going to be having a bad day. Time Traveler is that person now. Let's head to the front of the field. We'll leave them to it. Atlantic Puffin has made their way up into P1. Jack really close behind. Lap 6 here, so still 2.5 laps to go. We'll follow the leaders, see who can pick up a stage win here at Espadorlan to round off the quarterfinals, because we are going to end the timer on this race, it seems. Two little cars, two very fast cars, duking it out here. A wide line for Puffin. Jack a little bit cleaner, gets good traction. It really depends who can get through this hairpin well. The chicane, should I say. And it's Jack right on the back of the Puffin as Switz has had a bit of an issue. Down in P17 there. Jack with the inside line, but hits the curb. Puffin hits the curb. And that lets Jack through into the lead. Are they going to get 2 stage wins here in the quarterfinals? It's a good showing. You want to show that you mean business. Well, sometimes. I mean, that might just put a target on your back, so you got to be careful. Whereas we've got people like Charter just doing the slow and steady tactic currently in P7, which has actually worked very well before. But yeah, Jack is currently on for 2 stage wins out of 3 in the quarterfinals. Let's go a little bit further back. Chris Gaming, who was P15 in the point standings, still P6, which is an excellent place, and that should definitely give them enough points to head on through. But PTXT Charter are right behind. This is the final lap. This is for all the marbles in the quarters. Are they going to make a move down into what is basically a hairpin? Chris late on the brakes, trying to avoid something, but puts themselves towards the concrete. We saw, I think, Charter going wide there. Yeah, we did. Yeah, Chris gets overtaken by the Among Us. It's going to be P8 for them. So Jack takes the win here on the final race of the quarterfinals ahead of Puffin. Oswald, strong showing again. Again, one of our finalists from last time. Jab, Yolakowskill, Pete Among Us, Chris Gaming. Ikea takes P9 ahead of Charter. Outfox recovers to P12. Cube P13. Is that going to be enough points? Is it going to be enough points Time Traveler, Dynam, who sadly I think is out on Ranch as well. P16 means Ranch is going to be out of this thing. Switzer and Little Haven as well. The AI after you finish the race is pretty devastating. I'm sad to say, chat. I'm sad to say, just 6 points for Ranch, I think is not enough to make it through. I don't think Alex is going to be dropping down into the bottom 5. Let's see when we head back. So we're looking for our bottom 4 here, who are going to be knocked out. It's going to be Little Haven, Cube, tried to recover off their game crash, but sadly no. Ranch and Dynam, which means Switzer goes through with the P15. She was looking rough there, had a couple crashes, but makes it through. That is P15 in the server. I just want to check that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Among Us is P11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, we don't get any ties on points. And so, yeah, we're going to say goodbye to Dynam, to Cube, to Little Haven, and to the People's Champion, Ranch. A quarterfinalist is still a good showing in Bish Bash Bosh. It means you made it out the heats. It is not bad at all. But this is where we say goodbye to Ranch. I'm going to ask these players all to leave nicely, but I have to start kicking people. Let's see if they head on out. As we load up our next race here, which is going to be 6 laps on Torstorn in reverse in the Killer Bee. Realistic damage. A lot of little Killer Bees. It's a fast vehicle and it's a weak vehicle. The loader means you don't get to put any armor on it, so everyone is going to be pretty weak here with the realistic damage. It's going to be interesting. We're going to take a quick break before then. Do not go anywhere, as the semi-finals of Bish Bash Bosh are coming up in just 1 second. And we are back, everybody. I believe Twitch is back from ads. It is time for the semi-finals of Bish Bash Bosh 2. We have 15 drivers all loaded up, all points reset to 0. The timer goes back up to apparently 3 minutes 47. Let's set that to 12 minutes. Pop. The timer goes back to 12 minutes. I'm going to do it correctly this time. Hopefully we don't have people leaving and joining. I don't have to like adjust anyone's points all the time because that does slow things down a little bit. This is going to be Torstollen Reverse, which is a tiny track, in the Killer Bee, which is a tiny car.
You gave us CCC then BBB. When will AAA drop?
We need to wait and see what AAA might be. I actually haven't made any plans, but we need to consider, because there's obviously a theme going on in the Mr. V cinematic universe, and so I agree, it's only right that the AAA drops before long. I feel like that's an acronym for stuff already. I want to say like Alcoholics Anonymous, but I think... But yeah, it's only right that the Mr. V cinematic universe continues. Or maybe we'll go DDD, you never know. Maybe I'll dupe you, and I'll go the other way down the alphabet. Waiting for Time Traveler to fix his wheel. We can give him a second, that's alright. That's alright. I'm trying to look at it. Doesn't look like anyone's in the voice chat. Last time we had all our drivers chatting together, but they've all gone silent for this one. We got it fixed. Time Traveler's back in the server. It's looking like we're good. It's looking like we're good. Does Mr. V have double D? A bit of a sus message. AAA arms, artillery, and alcohol. Is Mr. V drinking whiskey talking about the war? I just straight up do not want to do that. That does not sound like fun to me in the slightest. Ambidextrous alcoholics. No. Hey, I'm ambidextrous and I do enjoy a drink. That's all I'm going to say on that one. Croissant says they'll donate 600,000 channel points if you bring Ranch back. A, don't believe you. Pretty confident you don't have that many. B, the tournament's the tournament. Ranch is obviously the people's favourite, but they got knocked out. There's other drivers putting in their all here, and it is tough competition. BBB is not a simple tournament. Like, we've got some excellent drivers here. Ranch obviously had a bit of an issue at the end of that final race. Don't know what was happening there. It's a shame to see. But we're going to have Driver of the Day voting towards the end of the final, so you have an opportunity to vote for your Driver of the Day. We'll put a poll in the YouTube chat for that. You never know. You never know. We're going to have interviews as well with the winner and with the Driver of the Day if they're willing to talk to us. Some people don't want to get on microphones, so that's absolutely fine. But if they do want to talk, we're going to have interviews. And so if you want to see your favorite driver interviewed, get in the vote at the end of the finals. Okay, everyone is here. Everyone's in the Killer Bee. Let's start the countdown. They're not ready, though, so it's going to take a little minute. Maybe channel points not enough. How about this crisp £3 note? Small issue with that one. And you're going to need some bigger bills, I think. We are off for race 1 of the semi-finals, and everyone is in the custom Bish Bash Bosh Killer Bee. It's a honeycomb theme, as authored by the Time Traveler. It's a beautiful car, and we already have the Puffin down at the back of the pack. Outfox has taken an early lead here, has outfoxed them all, had to get it in there. We've got people like Charter P2, Alex Norris P3, Pete, Oswald and Hikia fighting for P5, it looks like. Amogus, Yolakowskill, Co, Chris Gaming currently running P11. So this time, top 10 are going to advance to the finals. We have 5 more eliminated. Places 11 through 15 are the danger zones. And Chris hits on the bollards. That thing is not soft. And that car is damaged. Has he lost a wheel? No. I think he's maybe got some suspension damage. He might have like a bent axle. But that car's on low health. He's got to be careful. Outfox taken an early lead here. And so really there's a fight for P2 behind between Charter and Alex Norris and Oswald, 3 of our finalists from last time. As I get my drone stuck in the trees. That's not ideal. And let's actually go on board with Charter, I want to say, in the spherical cam. Currently in P3. Let's see this fight for all those 30 points. Outfox as runaway. At the start of this thing, I don't think we're going to see Outfox again in this race. They will be at the back of the grid for race 2, and Charter up on 2 wheels. But the car has 4. That is not optimal. It's not a motorbike. And Charter critical damage. Charter P15 goes out of the first race of the semi-finals. Obviously, they got a chance to recover in the next couple of races, but our 2-time winner is out. Let's jump forwards into Oswald, I want to say. The driver who was leading the points heading into the final race of the finals last time. Currently in P5 and is looking like a solid pick to make it through into the finals. Getting up here, Jack HW, one of our new drivers, showing that they're one of the favourites as well, is fighting up ahead for P3. Oswald keeping them in their sights, keeping them locked. Learning from the mistakes of Charter, not getting too aggressive on those curves. And Charter's parked on the entry to the first corner, forcing people onto a wide line through there, which they are navigating. Oswald is now right on the back of Jack. Goes a bit wide. This is still only lap 4 out of 6. But this is an intense fight. Because as well, as we've seen from Charter, the risk of DNFs is high. So you want to maximize points. If you're going to be starting at the back of the grid with a high risk of being crashed out, you want to get as many points as possible here. So these guys are going to be fighting hard to get those P2, P3 points. It is vitally important because a favourite like Charter can just get DNF'd and finish P15. Got to be careful. Behind this, we do have a bit of a gap. Yolakowski and Co fighting there for P6. Yolakowski currently winning, and Oswald goes slow, hits the barrier on exit, which gets them right into the jaws of Yolakowski and Co behind. Are we going to see a move? And Oswald up on 2 wheels! This Killer Bee has a high centre of mass. They've got stiff suspension setups to try and get speed around here. But the banked corners of Torstollen can throw that off in an instant. Let's check out what Outfox is up to up ahead. Let's see the gap. It's huge. Can't even see P2 behind. Lapping Chris Gaming there, who's currently running P13. Switzer's DNF'd as well. I don't know where on the track. I'm not currently seeing them. But yeah, Outfox, the commanding performance here. Fastest lap by over 2 seconds as well. That is a good performance. Alex Norris, Outfox's rival, who got taken out in the quarterfinals, running P2 with a bit of a gap down to P3. They're looking good for a finish there. But let's head to Outfox as he comes up to the line and wins the first race of the semi-finals. Let's go in free cam. Just seen him cross the line. No one else has even finished yet. That is how far ahead Outfox was. That's going to put a target on Outfox's back. Alex gets P2. Jack and Pete fighting for P3, and Pete's going to take it. Slows down the line, trying to showboat a little bit. Almost gives P3 to Oswald, but doesn't. Co there's been spun as well. Is going to get P7. Time Traveler P8. Hekia P9. And this is therefore the fight at the back for P10. Among Us with Descend, but not taking it. It's going to cross the line P11. Puffin and Chris Gaming. Puffin, who did really well in the quarterfinals. P12. Chris finishes off. But yeah, Charter, our 2-time BISH Bash Bosh winner, gets up on 2 wheels on those curves, which don't look too aggressive, but are really, really dangerous if you take them wrong. Gets DNF'd. Gets DNF'd in the first race. 7:35 on the clock, I think means we're going to have 2 or even 3 more runnings of this. Shouldn't need too much adjustment time. Give people just a second to look at their tune. But we're going to get right back into the second race here. I think we're going to have 3 more. Gives people at the back an opportunity to catch up. People like Charter. People like Switzer. Let's see how it goes. And that's the thing with Bish Bash Bosh. The randomizer, meaning that people can't practice. There's such a range of tracks and cars in this game. We see Puffin here saying, really struggled with that one because you can be solid with certain cars and certain tracks, but sometimes there's just that one combo that gets rolled in the playoffs and it throws people way off. This really is a test of consistency. I really hope Jab is not changing car. We're going to give him 10 more seconds here. Then we're going to hit the start button, which will lock in their tunes and everything. Let's check everyone's still on a killer beat. They are. Lovely stuff. Oh, and grid. I almost forgot. We put it on random grid, so it wasn't doing it alphabetical or anything. But we're going to put this back to cup points reverse, as it should be. Lovely stuff, which means we're going to have Charter on pole, Outfox at the back of the grid. We're going to hit start. It's going to start to lock our drivers into their cars in just a second. And then we are go for race 2. Timothy says, if I was still in, I assure you, I would DNF first lap. That's the spirit, Timothy. Always important to believe in yourself. We are away! For race 2 of the semi-finals. Tyres already being scattered. People mostly clean. What's going on at the back there? We've got people like Ko getting slowed down. Jab and Hick here as well. Outfox from the back of the grid is already up into P11, but it's still got quite a pack to get through. Got to be careful. Oh, and Puffin takes a big hit on the barriers. Gets damage to the brakes and suspension. That's going to hurt their lap pace. And who's that sideways? Someone on their roof. It's the Among Us. I am the Among Us, and I am upside down. Charter, with that pole start, has really capitalized and is just going to get an early lead here. Does not want to make the same mistake. Really avoids those curves up the inside. But Alex falls foul of the curbs. They look so innocent, but against a killer bee, these curbs are serial killers. We've got Time Traveler and Among Us inside the Armco at the inside of turn 1. Not an ideal place to be. Not the ideal racing line, I have to say. Oh, it is chaos here. Charter out in front just wants to make sure they don't get involved in that chaos. This fight for P2. We're going to stay on this one. Pete is currently winning it, but they have a lot of competition behind. I love the Killer Bee. It is a crazy car. It is quick as well. It has this devastating combination of being very fast, very weak, and so prone to just rolling over and all kinds of nonsense. Pete getting a bit of a gap at P2. Oswald and Outfox behind. Both very quick drivers, and so that's going to put Pete in a sticky situation. Particularly if you get Larry up on the sandbanks. Got to be careful of that one. Pete goes through Jack as well. Switzer's been spun around. Switzer is down there in the points and gets hit. Switzer taking damage on low health, and again from Hikia with the tap for good measure. And Yolakowski again. It seems to just be the culture of Bish Bash Bosh that if you see a car sideways, you smack it. That's just how it goes around here. Among Us in the go again. And Puffin getting up sideways. Outfox is actually up into P2 alongside Pete, sending Pete out wide. Pete takes the cups. Ooh, that is risky. That is risky. And Jack falls a foul. That is a big crash over the line at the end of lap 3 for Jack. Oh my, that is a lot of health loss. They're going to have to reset, but it's 3 seconds to reset. Drops Jack down into P10 after a real good run up until that point. Wow. Okay, Charter out in front does have Outfox behind, and Outfox once again is out for blood. Outfox has lost the win of Bish Bash Bosh twice, and both of those times, Outfox is the one... Charter is the one who took it from Outfox. This could get a little bit personal, particularly as Charter is struggling 4 points to get through into the final. Is Outfox going to make that tricky here? Is Outfox going to make a move? We've seen that These killer bees can get upside down really easily. And if someone's trying to put you upside down, it's even easier. Outfox with an excellent line there. Just such consistent speed. It's now right on the back of Charter with a good run down to the bottom of the course. Switzer has DNF'd, yeah, in the background. That is tough for Switzer. Charter keeps the lead, but side by side. Going through this section with the curbs. You want to ride them for speed, but not too much for the instability. Outfox and P1. Good line into turn 1 as we enter lap 6 even. They're still side by side. This one's for glory. This one's for personal pride, I think. Charter is still close enough to make a move. All moves are legal, apart from going backwards. Every other move is legal here in BISH Bash Bosh. Outfox has made a bit of a gap. Can Charter get close enough to claim P1 back again? Good speed, good speed. Round the spoon, but no, Outfox I think has too much for lead. It's going to cement another win. Charter again, airborne again. And yeah, that's going to be another win for Outfox. Charter takes P2 with Switzer DNF'd there by the ambulances. At least they're close to the medical team. Pete takes P3 ahead of Alex P4. Oswald is going to come across to P5, half health, but that's all you need sometimes. Jack P6, Time Traveler in P7, head of Unit Jab. Co is going to get that P9. Chris Gaming P10. Yeah, Puffin, who's done really well in some of the races, had some incidents. Ends them up in P11. Yola Kowskill puts a bit of a hit on Hikia just to ensure P12. One extra point, but sometimes it's worth it. Let us see. We're going to have one more running of Torstollen here. Let's see who's currently at risk. 5 drivers are going to be eliminated off this next race. Who is getting scared at the back here? Currently, we have Yola Kowskill in P10, which means Hikia, Chris, Puffin, Amogus, and Switzer are all currently at risk. A 4-point gap from Hikia up to Yola Kowskill, which means if Hikia can outscore Yola Kowskill or outfinish them by about 2 or 3 positions, they should be going through. And actually, that means it was crucial. At the end of that, Yola Kowskill did put that little hit to finish ahead of Hikia, giving them a bit more of a points advantage. That could prove so key here. That could be so key. What else is going to be key? DNFs. Got to be so careful of keeping this car upright, keeping this car out of the barriers. It does not have much strength. Are we still on realistic damage? Oh, we are. So yeah, these cars are weak because of that. Just a couple seconds for people to choose their setups, but we're going to lock this one in again. Don't know why Unit Jab is changing car. You can't change car, guys. We're going to lock this one in. We're going to go to the final race of the semis. Prediction live on Twitch. Pause. Okay, pause. Who's out? Chris has dropped out. Hopefully someone saw the points there. It means I'm going to have to do another edition, but the time is on exactly 3 minutes, so it's not that hard to adjust. So yeah, what is that? 2 wins for Outfox. A last to first for Outfox. What do we think? What do we think, chat? 3 wins in a row in the semis for Outfox. A real display of dominance. What are we saying? 20. It's going to be 21 points on the board for Chris. Put some joint P17 with Puffin, which is going to be key. So if we can get Chris back, give them their points, and then we'll get right back in here. I saw Outfox pouring sand into Charter's fuel tank. It's not in the rules. It's not in the rules, and so I guess it is legal. I just realized it's getting dark in here. My green screen is struggling. 1 second. Let me turn the light on while we're waiting for Chris. That's better. Ban Outfox because they're definitely just Max Verstappen in disguise. There's a lot of evidence that does point to that. I will say we did an interview Outfox last time. Didn't sound that Dutch. Didn't sound particularly Dutch-Belgian. But there's a lot of evidence pointing to it. I know Outfox has a lot of hours in the game and has taken part in like quite a lot of different Wreckfest tournaments. So they are certainly probably one of the more pros of our drivers here. But it's an open competition. Anyone can join. And we just have some very, very quick drivers in the Discord. If you guys, anyone watching at home, would like to take part in BISH BASH BOSH and you have not done so before, all the information to join is going to be in the Mr. V Discord. There is a link down below on both YouTube and Twitch in the description or in the panels on Twitch. Get in there, into the BISH BASH BOSH channel. The next event will probably be in about 2 or maybe 3 weeks' time because of Mother's Day in the UK. It's an open sign-up. First 40 people will secure a place, but we do have reserves because we do always have some dropouts. We have automatic registration for a winner. So if a winner wants to come back, they kind of jump to the front of the list. But beyond that, 40 places. So if you want to take part, you can. All you need is a copy of Wreckfest on either Steam, Good Old Games, or Epic Games. Those are the only 3 that can connect to the server because Wreckfest is real weird with crossplay. But yeah, if you would like to join, get on in there. The sign-up sheet will be open for the next one, probably in the next couple of days. It is a hell of a lot of fun. We still don't have Chris in the server. Just checking the Discord if we've got any news. Oh, Chris is back. Chris is back. Okay, let's give him 21 points. I'll reset the timer. Back up to 3 minutes. So yeah, Chris is currently in the drop zone. 21 points, same as Puffin. And just behind Hikia, Yolikowskill is P10, currently our last finalist, but there's obviously enough points on offer that any of these people could jump up into the top 10. So these are the names to watch: Hikia, Puffin, Chris Among Us, and Switzer, Yolikowskill, and Jab as well, who are both joint 26 points. Yeah. Drivers should have had enough time to choose a setup, so we are going to hit start here. We're going to head on in. These races are taking longer than 3 minutes. This is going to be the final race of the semis. Oh, Outfox is going to be at the back of the grid again. Can they make it? 3 wins out of 3. We're going to go into the free cam. Do we have much carnage at the start? Relatively clean for Wreckfest standards. Going through the first few corners. Up ahead, we currently have Among Us takes an early lead ahead of ahead of Switzer, ahead of Alex Norris and Yolikowskill. Outfox already has made it up into P8 and is looking for more. That's P6. Oh my god. There's cars up ahead. These people, all these drivers, if they want a good haul of points here, you also need to make sure you finish well, and you need to make sure that everyone else finishes badly. Sometimes spinning them out is the best way to do that. But you got Jack being spun and Co on the side of the car with pretty low health already. Down in P15. Up ahead, Among Us does have a good gap. Yolikowskill and Alex fighting for P2 ahead of Switzer. And Outfox behind. Switzer goes wide! Down into the forest! Switzer, no! That is quite a sheer drop if you go wide on this corner. Switzer found that out the hard way. What I was going to say was Outfox now in P4, 2 places behind Alex Norris. We saw Outfox put a hit on Alex in the quarterfinals. Is Outfox going to try the same again? as they come through here to round off lap 2. Jolakowski's in the mix as well. Could end up an unfortunate victim of this rivalry. Look at that pace. Among Us as well. They're closing in. They're closing in. All of these 4 are closing in onto P1. And Hikia's out! Hikia's out! Hikia was down in the bottom 5. And securing a P15 with the DNF means they're going to be out of the semi-finals. Excellent showing from Hikia. They put some really good drives in, but that is going to be the end of their run here in Bish Bash Bosh 2. And yeah, Outfox puts the side slam on Alex, sends him wide down at the big spoon corner, and takes P2 for himself. Alex is still there, though. Could be in a position for some retribution Among Us from P1. An unforced spin. An unforced spin. Chris Gaming, probably a forced spin. I will say, on the inside of turn 1, it is still chaos here as we enter lap 5. Among Us, no! From P1 to DNF and P14. It's going to be grinding that guardrail. It's sick as hell, man. It's cool as hell, but that is going to be the end of the road for Among Us. Not going to score enough points to get through. Outfox, it's looking like the last to first challenge has come good again. Alex is in lots of space at P2. A fight, therefore, for P3. Jolakowski running in P15 needs to secure good points here. Jack is much more safe on the point standings, but obviously wants to do the best they can here. Like, you're never going to go slow intentionally. And Unit, end over end. And Unit, I think, was only P14. Got to be real careful as people like Puffin and Chris, who both need to qualify, who both need points if they want to qualify, should I say, are right behind. Currently P8 and P9. They have got a fire lit under their arses. It's probably a fuel lines issue. These cars are old, but it's going to be motivating them forwards. Puffin right on the back of Jab. Do we see something? Let's get right in there with a drone. Do we see a move? Not quite close enough for it. Among Us has quit. Which is a shame. We wanted to see everyone in the final scoreboards, but they were eliminated. It's true. Time Traveler gets sent. Jab gets sent behind the bollards, which is quite a long way back as the leaders enter the final lap, which means Puffin is up into P7. Is probably securing a playoff run with that position currently. Chris as well in P9 might be doing enough to get through, but we do have people like Jolakowski up in P4 trying to keep them down. Outfox is going to come across the line here to secure that P1. Oswald, who is a lap down in P13, has been spun out a couple of times. Alex P2. Jack P3. Charter, after the DNF in race 1, comes home for P4. I think that's enough points to see them into the final. Our two-time winner is going to be playing for a win again. Time Traveler P6. Co P7. Chris P8. Could be enough. Pete P9. Jab is going to finish ahead of Puffin, who actually does finish down to P11. Probably not enough. Probably not enough, but we'll see how it all pans out with the other DNFs. It's impossible to say here with so many moving parts. Oswald, P13. Bit of a struggle time here at Torstollen, but I think has probably made it through. And so we head on off. We see who our top 10 are on the final leaderboard, and therefore our finalists. It's going to be Outfox, Alex Norris, Pete, Jack, Charter, Oswald, Time Traveler. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Co in P9, and Jab clinches P10 with 38 points. That means we're going to be saying goodbye to Chris. We're going to be saying goodbye to Puffin, who put in some excellent races right at the front of some of those races. Hikia as well, and Switzer. Amazing driving from everyone. Amazing spectacle from all our drivers here. But we're going to say goodbye to everyone below Jab. GG. Congratulations, please, in the chat for all of our drivers. Excellent showing. Torstollen is a tough one if you want to be fast. Wow. Just wow. Our final race is going to be on Torstollen again. It's going to be a slightly different configuration with Torstollen short, so not exactly the same thing. And this time it's going to be in the Rammer. It's a bigger car, a heavier car, normal damage. So we're going to see some aggressive racing, but people should be able to mount some comebacks, maybe slightly fewer DNFs. And our top 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is our top 10. We're going to reset the points. We're going to give drivers bit of time to change over to the cars after we take a quick break here before the finals. Don't go anywhere. Things are heating up.
What the hell is a carburetor? That's a genuine question. I do not know what it does. All I know is if I attach pipes to it, stick it in a car, that car goes vroom vroom. I work at Mr. V's garage. We don't exactly work the fastest. It's not slow service. I guess you could call it medium speed service. Do we fix every car every time? No. Are we reliable? Not particularly. Are we cheap? Also, not really, compared to local competitors. Feels like I've been working here for years. Decades, maybe. When did we start, actually? 2021? That's only 3 years ago! Wow, that's depressing. Anyway, my boss told me that if I don't make more money around here, he's gonna fire me. So I took the company mascot and printed it on these 100% cotton t-shirts. You can buy them now at MrV'sGarage.com. Channel members and Patreons get 10% off. That's MrV'sGarage.com. Now, back to whatever you were watching.
And we are back here for the semi-finals of BISH Bash Bosh 2. 10 drivers are in the server. They're getting ready. They're psyching themselves up for what is going to be an intense 15 minutes. The semis and the quarters are both 12. We now have 15 minutes of track time to give a bit more time for our very best drivers to duke it out for P1. In both our previous runnings of this, we have had a change of lead in the very final race of the finals. Drama is almost guaranteed. No, drama is guaranteed. I'm expecting nothing less from the finals here today. Some of the storylines going into this. We obviously have Charter, our two-time winner, who's come from behind twice, is in the finals after, you know, bit of a misstep in the first race of the semis, and that DNF made their way back through and is in the finals. We obviously have Outfox, who has just won 3 races back to back in the semi-finals. Has looked like the favorite for almost all of Bish Bash Bosh in the finals previously, but is yet to secure a win. We have Outfox's rival, Alex Norris. They've already had some contact on the track. We've already seen Alex put into the wall. Is that going to continue? Are they going to end up next to each other? Are we going to see more fighting? We have some other people, some familiar faces. Time Traveler, Co. Oswald, who was leading the final race until the final lap last time. We have some new faces as well in people like Jab, and Jack, I want to say, is at least new to the finals. Sorry if you were there before, Jack. I just completely forgot. But yeah, we shall see. How have the drivers learnt from previous runnings? How are they going to play this? Are they going to try and do it all on pace? After seeing Outfox with such an impressive performance here at Torstallen just in the semi-finals, are they going to play a bit more of a contact game? Try and, you know, just secure a win through any means necessary. It's going to be really interesting to see how they play this. 15 minutes means we should have quite a few runnings. We've got 8 laps on the short layout of Torstallen. So it's going to be similar to what we just saw, but a different layout, some slightly different corners, and different cars. We're in rammers, which are big and they are heavy. It looks like all our drivers are ready, so we're going to jump back over into the server. Everyone back on 0. Grid is random for this first race, because I think it might be alphabetical or something. So we'll do random instead, so we don't know who's going to start on pole. And we're going to lock them in for the first race of the finals. Who are we rooting for, guys? Who are we expecting to win? Or, not expecting, but who do you want to win? Where the hell am I looking? Nowhere, apparently. Not anywhere near the track. All our drivers in this blue and black Mr. V special rammer. And Outfox was given a pole position in the randomizer and has taken that through the first couple corners and is leading. Oswald, Jack, and Co at the back getting caught up and put into the barriers. Not good for them. Let's get the scoreboard up there. Yeah, Outfox in P1, Charter in P2. The rivalry continues. Time Traveler P3, Pete, Yolakowsko, Jack, Unit, Oswald, and that's the end of the first lap already. We've got 8 laps because it is shorter. So we can see the layout here. We're going in a different direction. And after this first corner, which Charter had some issues with, we then take a hard right through here. So we miss out the spoon corner down there. And other than that, it is the same, but in reverse. So a different challenge altogether. Outfox is looking quick again, but Charter's not letting them have it for free. They're staying close, keeping Outfox in their sights. Pete as well, Time Traveler, Jack, Yolakowski, and Oswald all together there for P5. Because again, this is points based, and so maximizing points in this first race is key, because you never know what's going to happen in the later races. The difference between P6 and P5 could be the difference between that sweet, sweet merch heading to your home or not. And let's not forget, guys, we're here for the sport, we're here for the love of motorsport, but these drivers are driving for a prize, specifically Bish Bash Bosh merch or a Greg's gift card if they reside in the UK. 2 highly coveted items, so obviously all of these drivers are going to be giving it their absolute all. You could call this a Grand Prix. It's certainly a very Grand Prix in my eyes. It's a Prix that I would want, certainly. Currently, winning that Prix is Outfox with a big gap. Charter has dropped back a bit. Still in P2, but closer to our P3 battle as the Rammers get up on the dirt. Jack makes contact, puts Time Traveler out, drops Time Traveler down to P6. There is contact. Drivers are going to make sure they get through. And, you know, putting your rival behind a barrier is a surefire way of doing that. Outfox is running away with this first race, but it does mean a P10 start with the reverse grid for the second race. Which could be dangerous if other people want to stop Outfox from scoring points. We shall see how they play it. The problem is, well, not the problem, but what we normally see happening is there's just such a free-for-all chaos at the first lap. Everyone bumping into everyone. And Outfox is the master of getting through that chaos unscathed. As I said in Bish Bash Bosh 0, the cockroach of Bish Bash Bosh, and I say that with all love, because it is true, Outfox cannot be stopped. You can crash him, you can drive quick, it doesn't matter what you do, Outfox will be there, and Outfox will put in some devastating lap times. Seems to be very comfortable in the rammer. To head on to lap 7, 2 laps to go here. So it's looking like each race is going to be the best part of 5 minutes, but we are going to get 3 or maybe 4, depending on Outfox's lap times these last 2 laps. Current standing, Charter P2, Pete, Oswald P5, Time Traveler, Alex Norris down in P7, Co, Unit, and Yolakowski is down in P10. think that is Yolakowski's best finish from last time as well. Trying to improve from P10. Currently holding on to it for now, but it's still an excellent placing to get into the final here. And yeah, Outfox starts the final lap. Let's ride on board to get an idea of the racing lines around here. Let's see. You have to be careful. You have to be careful with the apexes and the entries for some of these corners. But Outfox seems to have it down. They know when they can cut it. They know when they have to be careful. Little tap of the barrier there. Doesn't slow them down, though. But through the final corner. The perfect amount of sideways to cross the line. 10:27 on the clock, which means, with that pace twice more, we will get 3 more races, as it's just under 5 minutes. We'll finish the third race with about a minute and a half on the clock. Heading back, looking up at the line, we've had Charter P2, Pete P3, Jack Oswald, Alex P6, Time Traveler Co. Unit is going to take P9. Yolakowski at the back is going to take P10 in the opening race of the finals. All these drivers, though, are trying to maximize their points because, as we saw last time, the points make a difference to the last race. If Outfox doesn't completely dominate, getting those extra 5 or even just 2 points could make all the difference at the end. It's stock cars, so no one's going to be making too many changes. We'll give them a couple seconds in case they want to change their tune. But we're going to be going again. 10:27 on the clock. And we change everything to reverse grid. Which means Yolakowski on pole, Outfox P10. Bish Bash Bosh to introduce sprinklers to address the Outfox dominance. I think even in that situation, Outfox would still be rapid. Like, this is not exactly a high grip scenario, is it? They're racing on dirt. So he's kind of got that sideways style down. Outfox definitely deserves the win. Outfox is brutal in his consistency. Such a quick driver, such an impressive driver in just really any car and track combo we throw at him. So I would say so, yeah. It's been a long time coming, but if we see an Outfox win, it's been destined for a while. Fire alarm going off at Mr. V's garage. It's a car alarm outside my window, in fact. But yes, that was coming through my microphone. Okay, everyone's had a little bit of a minute, so we're going to start this one again. Doesn't take that long to do a car tune, guys. It's only like 3 options. So we head to the grid for the next race. Don't know why it starts me out here. And we're away! The clock starts ticking down. As we go 3 by 3 through the first 2 corners, Co takes an early lead. Oswald making a set. Outfox goes up on the curbs, ends up on top of another driver, but Charter as well. End of red, and that is a melee. That is a crunch, if ever I've seen one. Outfox does get through and is side by side of Alex. The rivalry does materialize. Outfox and Alex are right there. Outfox does get in the lead. Pete rolls it on the sandbanks, which is going to drop him down into P9 after Oswald comes through. But Co has been very quick. Quite a lot of times in previous Bish Bash Boshes is currently leading in P1. Outfox at the end of lap 1 has split it back to P2. As I said, just cannot be stopped. But Jack, who's been giving Outfox a hard time previously, is right there in P3. And yeah, Jack has been not afraid to get physical, particularly with Outfox so far. And the same is true here as Jack barges through into P2. Outfox returns the favour. Bit of a body slam into the barriers. Takes P2 back. Let's continue on with these two. Let's follow Jack, actually. Because I think this fight could be very fun indeed. Going wide, Jack going deep. In with the rammer. Outfox is going to get a good run there. We will see as well that Outfox is not in the lead. They have to get past Co if they want to win this one. Will Co be similar? How nice will Co be if Outfox gets alongside? And all that time, if it slows Outfox down going around Co, will Jack capitalize? Will Jack try anything? if he gets alongside again. Behind this, we've got Alex in P4. Time travel behind in P5. All carrying good speed, but being careful on those curbs. We saw exactly what those curbs can do. Let's jump forward onto Outfox as they get closer to Co. This is the battle for the win of race 2. Outfox up the inside. Co keeps it pinned around the outside. Doesn't make it too difficult. Doesn't play it too aggressive. And Outfox is through, therefore. I will say, we've seen that when Outfox is further down in the pack, he is not afraid to put a big hit on other drivers on his way through, just to ensure that he gets through. We haven't seen too much of that the other way around. Lots of drivers maybe playing this more like you'd play other racing games, pretty clean with their racing. But you have to use every advantage you can get here in Wreckfest. And I just wonder if anyone has the courage to put a huge slam on Outfox. Jack certainly does. We've seen it from Jack. But I think that's going to be the only way that Outfox is going to be stopped here. Let's head back down, because Jack is getting closer to Co. Jack wants that P2. 5 extra points if he can make the pass. Gets a little bit of curb on entry. We're actually going to jump back further. We see some changes of positions down for P7, P8 with Oswald and Jab. Pete as well. Pete went off track there into the forest. That's going to be slow. Oswald has taken P6 off Jab. Oswald, who was leading in our Motorhomes final last time. Not quite the same this time. Gets that rammer on the roof. That is not where you want to be. Therefore, P7 again. Pete's coming in to bring the fight once more. It's all falling apart here in Torsdalen for Oswald. Not quite reaching the heights they did in BISH BASH BOSH 1 on the grass, through the advertising hoardings. Yeah. Charter as well, our 2-time winner in P9 currently. Clearly got caught up in the chaos at the start. Is almost lapped by Outfox here, who is coming around the final couple of corners and is going to win race 2, which means the clock is going to stop at about 5 minutes 50. Ilokowsko is a lapped car, is not taking P2. Co is in P2, ahead of Jack. Alex Norris P4, not that far behind. Time Traveler again, good finish for P5. And a bit of a gap down into Jab in P6. Jab just doing a bit of a cleaner race than the cars around him. Was obviously overtaken by Oswald at one point. Oswald did get up on his roof, which is it's suboptimal. It is suboptimal. Ilokowski again takes that P10 and 12 points once more. And so Outfox is going to be on 70 points now. 2 more races, as this is about a 4-minute 30 round. So we are going to get 2 more, because we're still going to have time on the timer at the end of this next one, unless the winner is a lot slower in this next one. This is where the time tactics come into play, because if Outfox is in the lead, do they just, kind of come off throttle, bit of lift and coast to try and run the timer down? Because if we finish this next one and Outfox is anywhere in the top 2 or even 3, Outfox just clinches it. So let's see if we see any clock tactics coming into play. Driver's making a couple more tuning adjustments, trying to get it dialed in. Torsdalen is tough. Real tough to have pace around here. You want some soft suspension to be able to ride the bumpy dirt, but if it's too soft, you can hit those curbs and your suspension starts to act as a launch pad. Really hard to dial in the setup here. Going to give them 5 more seconds before we hit go. We're going to start the countdown for the next round. Charge says their car was snagging on the terrain. That's weird. I've never seen that before when I've been playing Wreckfest. I don't know if their like bodywork was damaged. Sort of giving them contact with the floor. Interesting. Oswald is going to start this one on pole. Currently in, well, like P8 in the points. I think Yolikowska was on pole, but was given the outside line. And Alex Norris getting all kinds of squirmy sideways through the second corner. And is off in the woods with the gnomes. Time Traveller been dropped as well down his P9. Oswald is still in P1. Has Yolikowska behind. And just behind that, once again, it's Outfox. Trying to make a move up the inside on Oswald. The inside is where you want to be in a car like this. Not really much the car on the outside can do at that point. Oswald does stay in the lead for now. We've got Jack behind in P3. Jack goes through as well up the inside. On the side of Outfox. Slowing Outfox down. Lets Yolikowska through and Outfox down to P4. As Oswald takes P2. As I said, Jack has that same kind of aggressive driving style that we see from Outfox. When they collide on track, we get fireworks. Co is there now. Up the inside of Outfox as Yolikowska goes wide, loses the lead of this race. Oswald P1. Outfox sent into the barriers. That's going to be P5, but actually recovers well into P3. You cannot stop Outfox. Oswald is now putting in good laps leading this race. He's also had a couple issues, but has learnt from them. And is now just keeping it consistent out in P1. Co P2, Jack P3, Charter P4. Has Outfox been put out again? They have. Outfox down in P7. I think our drivers have learnt that if any of them want any chance of winning this thing, they have to make sure Outfox does not score big. And so Outfox has got a real target now. Down in P7, side by side with Alex Norris on the back of Time Traveller. This is a storyline and a half. Alex with the send! I mean, Outfox made the call out in the driver interviews at the end of BISH BASH BOSH 1. I would say that Outfox maybe started it. I don't know what was going on track before that point. But yeah, this is certainly a rivalry, and that rivalry can change things here. Up at the front, Oswald is still lapping well. Co is in P2. Jack P3. Charter, our two-time winner in P4. And this is kind of how Charter does it, you know. Charter just keeps getting consistent points. Doesn't necessarily win every single round, but make sure they're always scoring big. This is how they won the last two BISH BASH BOSHes. Are we seeing the same story unfold again? Behind Charter is Outfox, as despite the best efforts of people like Jack and Alex, they have not been stopped. So Outfox is still driving there. We're going to ride on board. We're going to ride on board with Outfox. See the recovery drive in action. And he's got some clean air now. He's got some clean air, which means he's going to hammer in some laps. Ooh! Bit dangerous over the curbs there. Bit of air. Got the nose of the car quite low. Just caught those curbs on the massive battering ram front bumper. Outfox really now is keeping his fingers crossed, hoping for one of the drivers up ahead to have a bit of an off, you know, to collide with a barrier, send it wide into the forest, that kind of thing. And he will be there to capitalize. Across the line to start P7, 2 laps to go. It does look like we're going to get one more race here. Let's head out to the front. Let's head out to the front to see Oswald. See how big that lead is. Oswald is going slow through there. I think hit the wall. Coming through that. Are they taking the alternate route? Is that legal? Oh no, there's 2 start lines. My bad. I did not know that. There's 2 start lines. So the route of the short course does kind of avoid that first one we see there in the distance, which is what caught me out. Oswald, yeah, actually keeps it clean all in all. Almost the winner of BISH BASH BOSH 1. The winner of race 3 here in the finals of BISH BASH BOSH 2. And that is going to stop our clock. 1 minute 06, which means we get one more race. Further back. Jack takes P2, Co P3. Charter takes P4, keeps Outfox down there in P5. Time Traveler's going to get P6. Alex Norris P7. Alex has really sacrificed his race to get those hits in an Outfox. Yolikowski takes the P9. And Pete rounds it out here in race 3. 12 points for P10, which means 35 points for Oswald. Only 18 points for Outfox. Outfox obviously had a huge points lead, but that does draw it closer again. Let's see how things are looking as we head back to the lobby. And yeah, so Outfox, 88 points, 13 points ahead of Jack on 75. Co is then P3. Oswald P4 on 67 with Charter P5. So it's 35 points for a win, 12 points for a P10. So theoretically, anyone who is within 23 points of Outfox could win this, which really makes the top 4 all eligible. Charter is not possible for them to win this ahead of Outfox. But in theory, Jack, Co, and Oswald are fighting for a win here. Obviously, Outfox is the heavy favourite. If Outfox can finish, I think, really anywhere in the top 5, it's a guaranteed win. I don't know the exact numbers. Probably more like the top 8, I want to say. But yeah, technically, it's still wide open. But yeah, Charter, 2-time champion, is out of theoretical contention, will not be winning Bish Bash Bosh 2. So we will have a new winner, whoever it's going to be. I'm going to give them just 2 more seconds till we start the countdown and head into the final of Bish Bash Bosh 2. And we're away. Time Traveler on pole. Next to Unit, Yolikowski. Alex going around the outside. Charter up the inside. And then, yeah, the 4 at the back are the 4 technically in contention. Alex going sideways. Charter out wide. Oswald is getting alongside Co. As Outfox once again gets clean through the carnage and into P2. But they're spun by Alex. Alex once again is keeping Outfox in his sights. The rivalry continues. It doesn't quite work. Outfox still in P2. And currently going to win this thing. P2 easy enough points to secure a victory. They still have Time Traveler in the lead though. It's not a P1. Big pack behind. Pete gets spun, takes a bit of a slam, loses some health. Puts him down to P10. This pack all fighting for P5, I want to say. And it is close. Outfox now onto the back of Time Traveler. I think after this corner, they're going to be neck and neck. Yes, they are. Time Traveler in it for the personal glory. Can't win the overall title. Do they play clean? He's made some very clean liveries. He does punch Outfox into those curbs. Not too much time lost, but it's a second or something. Yeah, I was going to say, Time Traveler made some very clean liveries for us, but will their driving be equally as clean? Little feisty that first time. Outfox is back again. What's going to happen on round 2? Hi, Mr. V. Hello, how are you? And Outfox goes through! They put Time Traveler into the wall, and Outfox is through clean into P1 with quite a sizable gap behind. As it stands, Outfox is winning here, and there's such a big gap. I don't know if anyone can do anything about that. Outfox has been by far the fastest driver through all of our rounds. It will be a deserved win if it finishes like this. Truly a deserved win. From such a consistent driver, he comes across the line to start lap 5, and whoa, what is this up ahead? What is this? Oswald is not going backwards, but he is going slow, which is not against the rules. And I certainly think he's waiting for Outfox. What happens? But no. Ooh, it's a cat and mouse game now. It's a cat and mouse game now. Oswald has... sorry, Outfox has juked him. Once again, he's outfoxed him. It has to be said. I had to hit you with it. And Outfox get past Oswald. Oswald, who must have been waiting there to try and make a hit. Doesn't. Doesn't get it done. He's going across the grass. It's legal. It's not quick, though. He's slow coming through there, and I think that's going to be it. Oswald kind of gives up the fight. Behind, we've got Coe and Alex Norris fighting over P3 in this race, and probably, therefore, P2 in the overall standings is what Coe is trying to secure. It's still all for bragging rights, you know. It still goes on the BISH BASH BOSH wiki. It's still a very impressive finish position out of 40 drivers. Outfox. Look at these lap times. Let's go on the target cam. Give Mr. V's wrist a rest. Just see him lapping around here. This is the final race as the timer reads end. We shall see. Outfox is also on lap 7. It's got 1 lap to go. I guess the only thing is Oswald trying it again. Are we going to see someone just waiting here somewhere around the lap? He is! He is trying it again. Outfox obviously was too slippery last time. And he gets through again! Oswald, what is this? Is he trying something or is he just going slow with damage? The Duke! The Duke! Oh my god! Outfox saw it coming, was obviously driving in his mirrors, saw it coming, avoids it. Oswald trying to cut across. That doesn't work. There are kind of invisible walls to stop you cutting too much of the track. And Oswald DNFs. And Outfox is going to win it with a spin on the line to Showbolt. Wins the final and therefore wins BISH BASH BOSH 2. Uncatchable in the points. Uncatchable on track. It's deserved. It is fully deserved. We saw Oswald and people like Drac trying to spin Outfox out, but he's outfoxed them all. He cannot be slowed down. Wow. Wow. It's nice to see in the chat we've got Oswald saying fair play. Well deserved, and it is well deserved. Wow. Everybody, we've given... Outfox has had maybe a little bit of a villain edit here, but I just want to say, so impressive. Such a good drive in all the BISH BASH BOSHes so far from Outfox. Was well overdue a win from the previous ones. Massive GG to Outfox. Huge congratulations. Start thinking, everybody, about your picks for driver of the day. We're going to get a vote going very soon in the YouTube chat. But start thinking about who are your standout drivers here. And I want to get some opinions. I want to get some opinions up on the board. We'll get our top 4 in for a vote, in for a poll in the YouTube chat. So start to let me know. Has to be Outfox? Certainly. Well, Outfox is going to be interviewed as the winner. Obviously, driver of the day is also recorded, so don't vote not for Outfox. Outfox dominance could bore fans. Nothing about that was boring. Nothing about that was boring. Oswald. Vote for Oswald. Jack. Jack HW08 with a vote. Time Traveller for the comeback. Time Traveller had a really impressive storyline there, I will say. Finishes P6 overall. But yeah, almost went out. In the quarterfinals and saved it on the final running. Alex Norris, Outfox, Coe seems like a cool guy. I feel like that might be a slightly biased comment. Ranch, Timmy. Oswald. Okay. Let's start to get a vote going. I'm going to put in... we're putting in Outfox. Putting in Oswald. I'm going to try and spell your name correctly. But probably not going to. putting in Jack, obviously Jack HW08. Final one for driver of the day vote. But I think it's going to come down to those three. We'll put in Time Traveler. We'll put in Time Traveler just for the comeback story. And also, Time Traveler is the author of a lot of these liveries we saw here today. So I'd like to give a massive thank you for that, Time Traveler, for putting in the time to make those for Bish Bash Bosh. We're going to start the poll in the YouTube chat. Get your votes in. We'll give you a minute to vote. But yeah, the storylines there. Obviously, we had a little bit of a hiccup with some drivers joining when they weren't meant to, which is a bit of a shame to see. I will say thank you to everyone else for not doing that and for, self-policing, choosing all the right cars at the right time. Thank you to everyone for respecting the competition, because it makes it way easier to run, because I'm running everything and trying to talk at you guys. So thank you to everyone else for being excellent sports and organising yourselves so well. Get your driver of the day votes in. The vote is now going in the YouTube chat. Outfox currently 50% of the votes, looking like the clear winner. I'll give you a few more seconds to vote on that one. Thanks for organising and hosting. No problem. It is good fun. It is real good fun. But yeah, it is such an entertaining competition. Every single race in this thing is mental. Very glad that we pulled Recnado in the middle of that. We love to see some chaos tracks. They have high chances in the randomizer, but they just keep not getting pulled. Whenever I do the randomizer as a test, we get figure of eights and chaos tracks every single time. But whenever I do it live, we get much more normal tracks. It's very bizarre. But good to see that. Some excellent racing up and down the grid. A wild event here today. Okay, I'm going to say we've got votes in. Outfox has over 50% of the vote. So I'm going to call it there. Outfox is our driver of the day for such an impressive performance on track. Is obviously our winner as well with 123 points. And so 32 points clear of P2. So we have graphics for both driver of the day and winner. But winner is much more important. See if Outfox is up for an interview. We'll pull them in to the interview channel on Discord. And we can hear from our driver how that was for Outfox. And we have Outfox here in the interview room. First of all, huge congratulations. A class above the rest of the field today. It was a dominating performance. How was that for you?
Well, relieving. Very. It feels like a huge chip on my shoulder has been removed. Obviously, today was about proving a point. I'll say the qualifiers didn't go exactly as planned. It was very close. But in the playoffs, basically everything went my way. I didn't prevent Alex from joining the finals, but I got to wreck him in the quarter, so I think message was sent.
It did look like Alex got a bit of revenge there in those last couple of races. Were you worried for a second?
Kind of. Also Jack joining the fray, being a little bit rough around the edges. He made things interesting, I'm gonna say. I gotta say thank you, Jack, for that. But yeah, Jack was the standout for me personally today.
Yeah, Jack, I think, is new to the competition. Kind of came out of nowhere with some really quick lap times. But yeah, it's been a long time coming out, folks. Obviously, you've been right up there in both our previous runnings. And you were basically the favourite to win a couple times already. Obviously, had that disconnect in Bish Bash Bosh 1. And then the final lap chaos 2 weeks ago. As you say, I can imagine that's a relief. Are we going to see you back again? Are you doing a Nico Rosberg, or are you coming back to defend your title?
If I'm gonna be allowed back, I'm gonna be back. I also saw in the Twitch chat a familiar face named Ads Robin. We've been racing against each other in similar events before.
Okay.
So I feel like I have to defend my crown against him.
Okay, well, we'd love to have you back. Date is not quite set for BISH Bash Bosh 3, but it's going to be announced soon. It would be great to see you back here defending this title. We want to address some allegations in the chat. Some people claiming that you might be Max Verstappen on a Smurf account. What do you say to these allegations?
First of all, I am from Czech Republic, not Netherlands. I think that disputes it enough. Second of all, I don't have a car, let alone I can't drive a normal car, let alone an F1 car.
Have you tried, or have you just been failing the test?
I have tried. I've completed the test. I have a driver's license. I just wasn't comfortable with driving the car in real life. On computer, it's much safer.
Well, yeah, I guess it hurts a bit less. There's certainly more crashes in Wreckfest than on a normal day on the streets. But I see what you mean by safer. But yeah, fair enough. There's still going to be some people believing because, I've never heard Max try a Czech accent. It might sound just like this, so you never know. But whatever your day job may be, massive congratulations once again. You are obviously the winner of some Mr. V merch. I'm pretty sure we don't have Greg's in the Czech Republic. So if you want that, you'll be getting...
I would be surprised if there are Greg's in Czech Republic.
If you want the merch, you'll be getting a message shortly to make your pick. So massive congratulations. Thank you for taking part. We hope to see you back. And yeah, that is going to wrap up BISH Bash Bosh 2, as you're obviously the driver of the day as well. So congratulations on that. Over 50% of the vote. It's not surprising.
I saw that. Gotta thank everybody who voted for me. Gotta thank everybody. I've seen messages in the Twitch and YouTube chats saying they want me to win. They're cheering for me. It's very heartwarming, really. Thank you guys for that.
People love to see a good performance, and you certainly gave them one. So yeah, thank you so much for taking part. Thank you to everyone else for taking part in BISH Bash Bosh Day. I'm just gonna kick you out, folks. Get out of here.
If I can recommend, try to interview Town Traveler. He deserves it for all the work he's doing for the events with the skins. He deserves to be interviewed.
Because you've asked for it, if Time Traveler's around, we'll give him an interview. I'm going to send you out of this interview room. Thank you for joining me. And we will see you in a couple of weeks' time.
Thank you, Mr. V. And have a nice day.
There we go. Do we have time travel? Oh, we do. Time Traveler's been sent into the interview room. Hopefully not against your will. Are you up for an interview?
Yeah, sure. I just need to mute the stream so I don't hear myself.
Okay. So first of all, massive thank you.
Okay, no.
You obviously made a couple skins for the event. We saw your skins there on the Rammer and the Killer Bee, that yellow honeycomb Killer Bee, which is absolutely beautiful. So firstly, thank you for doing that. Obviously, just spent your own time on that. What's your favorite one of your skins? Have you made any that we haven't seen yet that you want to see coming out?
I think of the ones we saw, the Star Beast was probably my favorite, just because of the medium speed corner choke I got to place there.
Yeah.
And what's coming we haven't seen. Yeah, the Kremlin maybe, but I'm biased towards that car. I just love it. So yeah.
Okay.
I hope we get to use all of them at some point. But yeah, most of them haven't been much effort on my side. I've spent quite a lot of time making skins and liveries before in Wreckfest, so that's my only reason why I'm slower than Outfox. Yeah.
Because you've been spending all your time in Photoshop and not on track practicing.
Correct.
But I will say you were joint P5 in the final there. I think that might be your best finish yet. We've seen you in the finals before. How was the racing for you, and how was that quarterfinals where you were at risk going into the last race? How are you feeling at that point?
Oh yeah, I think it's a very mixed bag. Like, this is the first BISH Bash Bosh I wasn't able to win a heat race or generally a race. I only got P2 in the last run. Yeah, I always cut it close in the elimination rounds, I found, and then the final I come alive. Yeah, but it was intense, definitely. The competition was there.
It certainly was. the competition is real tough. If you could pick any kind of track, what would you want to see more of in the next running? Do you want to see more of the chaos, more figure eights, or do you want more tarmac? What's your specialty?
In the zero edition of this, we had a lot of ovals, which favors me on the wheel quite heavily, I would say. That's
Yes.
also why on the oval I suddenly pulled up this comeback. Yeah,
Okay.
but maybe not Regnado. I didn't even make a full lap.
Well, yeah, we shall see next time if the randomizer is kind to you. The randomizer loves to give us curveballs. Buses on Regnado were certainly a spectacle to watch. And as you say, not everyone made that through cleanly, you included. But I hope you had fun. I hope we'll see you back.
Definitely.
Thank you for supporting the competition. And yeah, with that one, I'm gonna send you out, Mr. Time Traveler, and we're gonna wrap up. We're going to wrap up the stream. Thank you to everyone for joining me. Bish Bash Bosh will return in 2 or 3 weeks' time, but it is Mother's Day, and so my mother might get angry if I'm sat here doing this. We shall see. We shall see when it takes place. But in the meantime, thank you for joining me. Thank you for the cheers and all the new followers while we've been driving. It has been crazy. I need to go lie down because I was up early this morning for the Australian Grand Prix. Formula 1 is back in full swing, which means the channel has videos coming out at a lightning pace. And when I say lightning pace, not Lightning McQueen pace, more like some slow kind of lightning. But they're coming. They're coming. So stick around. F1 Manager streams back in a few days' time. But